Alright, this is Danhausen here, very nice, very evil. You are watching Tru Heel Heat. Probably should have had MJF do this, but here we are.
Welcome to Tru Heel Heat, the place where we use insider terms because we think we know what the fuck we're talking about, even though we don't. My name's Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I'm better than you, and you know it.
Hello everyone, it's hardcore legend Mick Foley wishing a nice day to everyone there, right there at Tru Heel Heat. Yeah!
It's Saturday morning, and you know what that means. It's time for some Tru Heel Heat, and it's gonna get hot up in here at the Saturday cookout because we gotta talk about that old boy, CM Punk, starting drama once again, blasting AEW, Dave Meltzer, Tony Khan, John Moxley, Chris Jericho. He's had a love affair with HBK, apparently. This man's going crazy on social media this week. We're here to discuss it. Plus, it's the final Tru Heel Heat before WrestleMania Saturday, next Saturday, and a whole bunch of professional wrestling. So we got previews for RoH Supercard of Honor and Impact New Japan Pro Wrestling Multiverse United. Plus, Top Guy JJ is back with us. His once a month mandatory appearance has arrived. It's time for some Tru Heel Heat. Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. We are live on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube and Facebook for Tru Heel Heat 218. I'm too old for this shit. Discussing the latest wrestling news, including CM Punk deleting his IG story, which he blasted and buried AEW, Chris Jericho, Dave Meltzer, and John Moxley. Recap of this week in wrestling with AEW Dynamite featuring the sensational Kenny Omega versus Elio del Vikingo main event, WWE Smackdown from last night, Raw, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, New Japan Cup 2023, final, TJPW Grand Princess 2023, RoH TV, Impact Sacrifice, and Impact on Access TV. We will preview and predict the cards for RoH Supercard of Honor and Impact New Japan Pro Wrestling's Multiverse United, plus much, much more. As always, we are here with the beautiful, the lovely, the princess of all the Tru Heels, Miss Krssi Love.
Hey friends, hey boo, welcome. How are you? Oh my God, it's so happy to see you. The gang is here. Oh my God,
very raspy, but hey boo.
Hey friends, hello everybody. Happy Saturday. It's a shitty weather today. Well, it's shitty weather over here on our side of the town, but I hope all of you all are well. Hey friends, hello. We have so much to talk about. I can't wait. Why is Goldberg a part of the thumbnail?
He's a free agent. He's a free agent, so he gets.
He should be in retirement. Stop. Okay, don't get me started. Okay, goodbye.
Hey, we're getting Krssi Love started already before we even introduce the returning candle maker himself, the resident Tru Heel alcoholic, Top Guy JJ. Welcome back, Top Guy.
Welcome,
Thank
friend.
you. Guaranteed there will be no alcohol in this show. No.
Are you repping the Titans? Who do you have
Dude.
on today, friend?
I'm not sure if people really want to know who this is unless y'all want me to really be a heel right now, which, obviously it's what the show is. It is everybody's favorite quarterback in the world from the 1996 Pro Bowl, Brett Favre.
Suing everybody, absolutely.
Yeah.
What? Oh my God. So
I don't know if you should have said that out loud, friend, but okay.
Just before, I never thought I would see this live in 2023 and live in color with all the peoples here. It's good seeing all of you guys again. I am contractually obligated to be here. I am just here so I won't get fined. But hearing this, I need y'all to really process this before we begin.
Okay.
Bill Goldberg, the hottest free agent in 2023.
There we go.
Now you're being okay. See,
there we go. Yes, sir.
Something that has been said by multiple people.
Who said this?
Multiple people. The hottest free agent in the game today. Hotter than Switchblade Jay White. Hotter than Kyrie. Hotter than Mercedes Moné, apparently.
And Trinity? Come on now.
I heard hottest free agent. I almost lost my shit, bro.
I need an Excedrin. Can someone give me an Excedrin, please? My head is pounding. I feel it throbbing like right here, like right here.
Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself. But yes, we got plenty of wrestling to discuss. We thank everyone for joining us for the Saturday Cookout, the Tru Heel Heat flagship podcast, Tru Heel Heat 218. Of course, we appreciate y'all joining us. Show your appreciation back by dropping the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. We got a big week coming up. We're WrestleMania week. We're going like 8 days strong of consistent content here on the channel. So stay tuned for all of that. Tuesday is our WrestleMania 39 preview show. So I will say that, yes, we got big guests coming up, and I'll get to that in a bit. For our WrestleMania preview show, we got Tru Heel Heat will be 1 hour earlier next week. We'll be starting at 10 a.m. Eastern time. NXT Stand and Deliver at 1 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have the 3 streams on next Saturday with Tru Heel Heat, NXT Stand and Deliver, and WrestleMania 39 Night 1. So stay tuned for all of that. And of course, if you're with us live, sound off in the live chat. We want to hear from all of you. We are an interactive podcast, so we'll try to highlight as many comments as humanly possible. But the best way to have your comment highlighted on screen and to not start crying that we haven't highlighted your comment, because I have seen that the last couple of weeks, send a super chat donation. That's the best way. And then I'll have to, no matter what you say, even if I don't agree with what you say, I have to highlight it on screen because you are showing your support in the best way possible. We got Alan Banky in the chat who says, "What's up, Tru Heels family? What's going on, good brother?" He says, we got Dolores who says, "What's up, everyone?" We got Ace who says, "What's up, everyone?" We got the Negro Buck, Nick Jackson, who says it's Saturday morning, and you know what that means, time for THH, baby. We also got the Negro Buck who says the OG trio's back. Sup, Sid, JJ, and Krssi. Much love, y'all. Always good to see y'all on my screen. We also got MCAS who says HBK, horrible booking kid.
Oh,
great.
It's not as easy as it looks.
It's not as easy. Triple H said it on the, what was it, Raw 30. He was like, this booking thing is pretty hard. We got Alan who's happy to see the OGs are back on his screen. We also got Dolores who says it was when he was a good guy. So, okay, Top Guy. There you go. See, she gave you the pass.
I just looked at like the homepage for a sec, right? Like, I think we talked about this on 200. Like, the fact that we had like 2 people watching us on Facebook, right? like literally, and baby Seth was holding physically holding a phone or a tablet, recording us in SP's job. And now there is almost 5,400 people subscribed to the Tru Heel Heat Wrestling channel. That is pretty fucking remarkable. You can never say that Tru Heel Heat is not people of the people.
Absolutely. In this year alone, and I'm saying year, it's only been nearly almost clear 3 months. We have pretty much matched the amount of new subscribers we had all of last year in 3 months.
I mean, listen, you have
we got to give it up to them.
The team that's Romeo. You guys do this every day. I'm just here on the weekends, friends. You know, I got a job and I have children. I'm sorry that I can't be here every day, but I love you guys, and I give credit where credit is due. And you guys are the MVPs of it all. You guys do all of the work. You speak to these people every single day, and kudos to you guys.
Wait, is it true that this fucking maniac is about to do a 24-hour stream?
Yes, going live after, Tru Heel Heat is over. You could go to the For Romeo Anthony YouTube channel, or you could go to twitch.tv/Tru Heel Heat Gaming. We always need more support on that platform. We just hit affiliate status on that platform, 100 followers and counting. You could go over there and you will see 24 hours straight of WrestleMania matches hosted by Romeo. It is Romeo Mania. He's going 24 hours from after Tru Heel Heat ends here. He's going 24 hours into then the next day. He's gonna counter program serving face and heels, apparently, because he's a maniac. I tried to talk him out of this, ladies and gentlemen. I was like, maybe you should do the 24 hours after we hit 10K. Maybe do 10 hours.
Right,
He's like, no. He's like, no. I want to do 24. And I was like, okay, I've learned not to argue. So, okay. Yes.
Well, happy birthday.
Well,
right,
next week is his birthday.
Next week.
And whenever, I'm not sure I'm going to be on screen by the time that birthday rolls around. So I figured I'd just get it in there now because hey, what?
Hey,
like,
I've learned not to argue with him, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, like, wow, this guy is dedicated. I tell you that. He's stubborn as fuck, but dedicated as hell.
Stubborn and dedicated. That's the keys to success. That's the keys to success. Kobe Bryant taught me that. Bala B with the nice prediction here says we hitting 8K by the end of the year. We're going for 10K.
You know what, friend?
Going for 10. Going for 10. I appreciate the love, Vala B. Thank you so much. We got MCAS who says Romeo must have gotten some of that TK Coke. Good shit, pal. He told us to take our time. Take your time. I need to rest my eyes. He advertised 1 p.m. and I was like, Top Guy JJ's on the show this week. I don't know if we're gonna be done by 1 p.m. And he was like, You're right. He was like, so it will start after Tru Heel Heat is over. Smart move. But yes, always off.
I don't know. I think we've done that one time, and it was literally because a pay-per-view was coming on directly after the show, so we had to trim a lot of shit out. So
the only time that ever happens. That's what I was like, you didn't think this through. This was totally an on the limb type of decision by Romeo, but I appreciate the dedication.
I mean, yeah, he's the writing MVP of it all. So I mean, we can only support him.
Yes.
Don't talk after a while. You like he wants to do it. Just be there. Maybe can pop in later on. I don't know. I'll try my best. So are we like just sending him matches to watch? Like, how is this all?
No,
working?
he's gonna spin a wheel. He's gonna spin a wheel in whatever match it lands on. So hopefully he's realized that if you spin a wheel, you should probably take off the match so you're not repeating the same match. You don't want to watch the gimmick battle royal too many times.
Any match?
Apparently, I don't know. I don't know how this is working.
So like, did he make the wheel? Like, is it on?
Y'all
like,
are asking the wrong person. I
need you to chime in, friend. Please, I need you to come on this stream right now. Like right now. Like, come on.
My only suggestions to him was maybe you should start after we're done, and maybe you should do it on the Twitch.
So there's a chance you'll see Michael Cole versus Jerry the King Lawler.
Oh God, that would be great if every time he spun the wheel, it landed on the worst matches in WrestleMania history, like Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler, the gimmick battle royal, Shane versus Undertaker, Roman versus Triple H. Like,
oh, how about that Triple H versus Batista match at 35? He ain't lasting 24 hours if he gotta watch that shit.
And I was there to watch that live, and that was not.
Nah, boy, you were sleeping.
Yeah.
You know, if he really wanted to do a 24-hour WrestleMania stream, just watch Triple H matches. That would clear the 24 hours because they're all fucking marathons.
Oh, he won't be up. He won't be up.
He'll probably go past 24 hours.
Yeah. Let me tell you, like, I actually. Because, you know, YouTube has been like randomly putting like these WrestleMania matches up, like full matches and stuff.
Really?
And I think that's the social media platform I'm probably on the most.
Okay.
Bro, they put on Triple H versus Randy Orton from WrestleMania 25. This was supposed to have been a good match, according to some. Holy shit, that match was awful. Yes. Oh my!
You remember because the build was great. The build going in was great going into it, and then they ruined it.
Was awful. Oh my God! Holy! Try to defend that if y'all can.
You'll find someone who defends it. Randy Orton fans, they're very diligent. They're very diligent. But yes, a bunch of y'all are in the chat. Thank you so much. We got Negro Buck who says, let's go for 10K. We got Annika who says, top guy. JJ and Miss Krssi, let's go. She's screw me. Annika's mad at me. ALW saying SP3, Miss Krssi, love, and top guy JJ, what's up, y'all? Dolores says, you all are real and relatable and deserve every subscriber. Thank you so much, Dolores.
And you know what? I think in that comment about Krssi and I think it's more of just us being like together on the same screen for like, you know
what I miss a lot.
And I don't want y'all to oversight the appreciation for SP3, you know.
Right.
Every single week that we're not here, that guy is here. So
thank you.
This man keeps the ship going. He is always involved, whether
he
he's
getting days off, which is really sad. I need my friend to take a vacation. I need him and his family to go somewhere very nice, preferably in the island, somewhere where there's a beach and no wrestling. Let him just enjoy the finer things of life and let them have a week vacation. Romeo can take
so much wrestling.
Is that he actually has the team of people that can take a week off for.
Yeah.
And he still hasn't done it. So when I say that this channel is people for the people, that shit is real. Because this man hasn't taken a break off Tru Heel Heat in 5 fucking years, except the 2 weeks that he got suspended off the channel. And this was back in.
I remember that.
And the pandemic. And the pandemic,
right?
And the pandemic one, where I had to schedule y'all the room so y'all could do it at my job.
Oh yeah. So my bad. So there was 3 absences from this. 3. Holy shit, bro! I get 3 absences a month.
And technically, those 2 where I was suspended, I showed up at the end and attacked Baby Seth on both of those.
Yes, he did.
Oh, I remember when
he broke in on his day off.
JJ would bring like the whole bunch of Ciroc nips, and we would go through almost the whole entire. We probably have maybe like 3, if any, left.
I
Yeah,
remember my
Mike
coworkers would
lucky.
always tell me they were so jealous that they don't watch wrestling because they would love to join us for all the Saretta and Top Guy JJ would bring. I would
bring
be
the
with
shoes,
the
he would bring the
cart with the
drinks.
cart with the cups and the
Yes.
ice.
Yep.
Oh, that was clutch. People don't understand how clutch that was.
Yo,
Whenever time, like when we rush in because we get delayed from the fucking train and all of this shit, and SP just comes in with this big ass silver tray, this big ass silver tray, and that shit got ice, cups. It's fucking, you know, obviously the shit turns into water after over 2 hours of show, but that shit was a beautiful thing of ice that starts off with, and boy, we start off from like.
They would always make fun of me because I ate on TV. I was hungry. I come from work.
In a box? How many comes in a box? So I used to bring a box every time. I think it was like comes in a box.
And
then whatever was left over from last week. So it would be 1 or 2. So we always went in there with like 11 or 12. And boy, listen, this is even at the time when SP3 was fucking like drinking with us. And I think had influences on this.
This used to make the rants that much better, folks.
Yeah,
go back.
It's
in the archives.
Yeah,
it's in the archives.
The arguments, holy shit. I'm surprised that we didn't break the audio on every iPad that we've ever been filmed on.
That's why we were smart. We were smart to do it in the evening time because I would have got in a bunch of trouble if my bosses were around.
Yeah. And mind you, SP bought 2 microphones for the show. He bought 2. Knowing that there's 3 motherfucking people on the show, he only bought 2 because he knew my ass never needed a mic ever be on Tru Heel Heat. Never. So he's like, listen, your sound will go into Krissi's mic perfectly fine.
And it always did. It always did.
I didn't have a mic.
Go back and watch the archive.
Last one. Remember when we went in the room with all the instruments and SP was pissed?
Oh, I sent y'all a picture of that. I sent y'all a picture of the throwback. Oh shit! But we had the fucking gong. Holy shit! I think that might been...
I think that's what it's called. Wasn't it called like Tru Heel Funhouse? Because that was our old edition of the Firefly Funhouse.
The Tru Heel Funhouse. Yes, it was. And holy shit, did we annoy the shit out of him? Because he had all these cool toys in there. He had all these little cool yoga pillows. He had the fucking gong. He had the xylophone in there. That's whatever the fuck that shit is called.
Yep, it was a xylophone.
He had all sorts of goodies in there. And me and Krssi was like, oh, we about to fuck him up.
Yeah, because we were supposed to do it in another room, and y'all was like, "Can we do it in this room?" Yep. I was like, "Oh boy, what did I get myself into?" Because we didn't even. There was no chairs in that. That's a meditation room.
It was a meditation. We had to set up the whole camera. We had to make sure it was straight. Like he was so annoyed with us because we wanted to be in that room so damn bad. And boy,
we were literally like kids in a museum. We were like kids in the museum. Like, can we go to that room? Can we go to that room? I don't care.
That was when we were still
like the entire show.
That was when we were still in double digits, folks. Go back.
Yeah.
Go like I think that was like Tru Heel. You could go from Tru Heel like Tru Heel Heat 40 through 63. I think is the era when we were at my job.
That's when the Firefly Funhouse just debuted.
Putting up the Tru Heel Heat poster for every one of our recordings.
Yes.
How many times that shit fell
down
until we figured out that we could have Krssi put the logo on the big screen behind us. That was the clutch moment.
Mind you, he is covering this billboard. He's covering a 55-inch television. And Krssi was like, I could just do a program and put the logo on the TV. This is what happens when you put two idiot guys in the same room with a very smart woman, and she's like, we have the resources, right? What you guys are blocking every week. Yeah. That was us in 2019 and 18. That was us.
Praise be, Miss Krssi Love. Praise be, Miss Krssi Love. But yes, we want to thank everyone who is with us in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us. And we always start off Tru Heel Heat with our Tru Heel Roll Call, shouting out those supporting us across social media. Our top 3 conversation starters on the Tru Heels group page on Facebook. Coming in at number 3 is Stewie Palmer. Coming in at number 2 is Alan Weinstein. And number 1, the Negro Buck, Nick Jackson. Our Patreon backers, Vala B, who's in the chat, ALW who's in the chat, Negro Buck who's in the chat, Alex McCarthy, Professor Chris, Austin K, You My Boy Blue, Yachty, Robert, Steve, Antoine, Fifth Generation Carney, Ladarius, John aka Russell Scopes, Dan, Kobe, Queen Monet, Dolores, John Martin, and DJ Eric. Thank you so much for supporting us at patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat for $3 a month, exclusive content, and the Tru Heel Heat Prediction Championship, which I am whooping ass once again, gonna win my second one. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for playing along with me and seeing how good I am at predicting the wrestling world. But let's get into what we missed from
works in the media.
How
are y'all going against somebody that's literally in the media?
He watches this 24 hours a day. I don't get to watch this stuff all the time. So
I don't watch it 24 hours a day because Power started, so I need to dedicate an hour to that.
Are we gonna do a show on that one?
And mind you, the maybe he gotta squeeze the hours in for the kids. I
have to add the kids
and the miss and the wife.
The missus needs her massages because I have the magic fingers, so I gotta take care of the missus. Gotta take care of the kids is learning potty training. We always got to do the big pop for Harlem. Sydney's just like, all right, I'm just gonna do my thing. Don't nobody pay attention to me. With Harlem, every time she takes a drop of pee, it's like, gotta clap for her.
You have to make a big party. You have to do got like noisemakers or something like that. You got to make it a big deal for them. Like
no, she just wants the pop. She's already getting into the wrestling mode where she's like she needs a pop every single time she does anything. So I got to do that. You got Power now. You got the Challenge World Championship. There's certain things. You got NBA that I have to watch for FMC and the Tru Heel Heat Sports YouTube channel. So I got to start watching baseball because they want me for baseball content on Sportskeeda. So there's a lot. There's only so many hours in the day.
SP doesn't get to use the term magic fingers out loud a lot. So him getting to utilize that on this channel right now to self-promote all the good that he believes he does, let that man shine for 32 seconds.
No, but I appreciate you. It's not very rare that we hear the good brother Top Guy JJ say good things about me. So I appreciate that.
Not when I'm contractually obligated.
We got Max WrestleManiac UK saying keep healing it up, SP3. Haters gonna hate. LOL. Thank you so much, good brother, joining us in the chat. We also got Kid Get Money, being Kid Sends Money with a super chat donation. Thank you so much as per usual. And Kid Get Money says when SP3 ain't watching wrestling, he's watching the Jags, because Kid Get Money always has to reference the Jacksonville Jaguars in every super chat donation. I appreciate the dedication. I know Top Guy JJ's like, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on that one.
I mean,
but yeah.
I'm not gonna get too much into it because they finally had themselves a nice year, so he's gonna get to talk about this for a little while. So let him shine, and
let him shine.
Only time of the month or the week that they ever get mentioned will be by Kid Get Money. So it's cool.
There we go. Let's get into what we missed. And we're starting off with AEW Dynamite this week, which was up in the ratings, doing 954,000 viewers. And I think a lot of that was down to two things. And that was the show featuring a spectacular main event matchup with the debuting El Hijo del Vikingo going one-on-one with Kenny Omega in an absolutely breathtaking bout. Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter gave it 5 stars. Spoiler alert, SP3 also gave it 5 stars because this was a perfect TV main event matchup. Kenny Omega getting the win. Post-match, we saw further development in the Elite storyline that actually started the show. At the beginning, we saw of the show the Young Bucks being stretchered out of the building and Hangman Adam Page leaving with them. Blackpool Combat Club were apparently the lead suspects for attacking them. They did various attacks on this show. It became a show-long narrative. And then after Omega's win over Vikingo, he was attacked by the Blackpool Combat Club, John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta, with Hangman coming back in a damn ambulance like he was Stone Cold Steve Austin to make the save for Kenny. But that dastardly bastard Carney Don Callis faked being knocked down by Hangman Adam Page to get Omega to leave with him and to avoid the Elite reunion. Speaking of the Blackpool Combat Club, though, you had John Moxley beating Stu Grayson in a good matchup. You also had the Guns defeating Top Flight to retain the AEW World Tag Team titles. Post-match, FTR came out to challenge the Guns, Austin and Colton, for the gold, with Dax putting their AEW careers on the line to get their match. Tony Storm beat Sky Blue in Blue's best match to date. Post-match,
wow, not best match to date. Damn. Sorry.
Yes, it was. Adorable gangsta Riho came out with Willow Nightingale and ran off the Outcasts to make the save for Sky. You had Daniel Garcia stepped up to Adam Cole to become his return opponent on next week's Dynamite. And we had one of the most hilarious squash matches I've seen to date, with Hook defeating Stokely Hathaway, who in fact quoted Tupac saying, "I ain't a killer, but don't push me." This was
my husband was on the floor. You don't even watch wrestling.
No, the funniest part was before the match where he gave Justin Roberts a receipt.
It's a fake doctor's note.
Instead, it was a doctor's note that said he is sick. And then he said, "I'm retiring, and I want to thank all my friends, all 12 of y'all." Sting, and then finally you had the opener with Sting, Darby Allin, and Orange Cassidy beating Kip Sabian, the Butcher, and the Blade in a fun trios opener, following a couple of days after Sting's 64th birthday. This man swam in the fountain of youth. Miss Krssi Love, what did you think about Dynamite with the show-long narrative of BCC attacking the Young Bucks to start the show?
Love it.
And how it ended to end the show? And of course, what did you think about, I know this is probably one of your first time, probably not your very first time, but one of your first times seeing El Hijo del Vikingo. What did you think about his matchup with Omega?
Okay, first, Blackpool Combat, love the goons, love that they are goons. I love their just black hoodies with just minimal writing. Love all of that. The beginning of the show, of course, they just go and they're putting them on one of the Bucks on stretchers, which was great, acting like they don't know who did it, right? But great opener. Ending of the match, amazing. I mean, ending of the show, great. I think that was my first time seeing him, but great main event. Stokely, MVP of the night. Homage to the Nation of Domination and quoting Tupac at the same time. You gotta love it. Then he gives a receipt as a doctor's note that says he is sick, which is not. I mean, you gotta love Stokely. Like, and he said, "I want to give a shout out to all my 12 friends that are here." Like, who?
No, he said, "I want to thank all my fans, all 12 of y'all."
I was one of them. I was like, that's me. It was great. Great show for Dynamite. Great. I'm happy they're up in ratings. Maybe it wasn't much sports on that day, was it?
No, it was. They still had like the NCAA and NBA. Vikingo is a draw. That's what I took it as.
Okay.
Vikingo and all the talk about, oh man, they didn't build it.
What did you need to build?
And You saw what happened. They got.
But that's what
huge
mostly
ratings.
that they do. They bring other people in and they have these matches. Like that's the AEW MO though. Like why are people acting like they're surprised? I'm confused.
I mean, we talked about it last week. The people that were just complaining about it, saying that they don't know who Vikingo is, but now you do. Top guy JJ, I know this is probably your first time seeing Vikingo. What did you think about his display in the main event with Kenny Omega?
Yo, I'm just gonna tell wrestling fans are just gonna find something to complain about every single.
Yeah.
Like it's not outside the MO. It's not outside the norm. Like they have done about 40 guest appearances for matches. That's a one-off. Like, oh my God, shocking. They don't promote the one guy that apparently, if you're fucking interested in him, we have the internet.
Yeah.
Like, you have
you can find out about it. You can Google. YouTube is your friend.
Wide web, where all you have to do is you see his name, copy and paste on your fucking phone, and you can find out everything you wanted about him. So, show was it had a good feeling to it. Like it had a good feeling to it. Like I personally, I love seeing the crowd. I love the look. I love that look of seeing that beautiful looking audience, because you get to see how engaged they are, which helps the professionals when they doing their jobs. Like it only adds fuel to what they're doing. Like, you know that theme of the night where you see people getting taken out, and the first thing that I'm thinking about, and obviously it was more of like the heel face against like the face heel. Remember that way back in the day when Stone Cold Steve Austin was picking off the NWO one by one, but at least you knew who the fuck was doing it, and then you want to act like we don't know who's doing this to the Young Bucks, but the elite were getting picked off one by one. And then you see it culminate at the end. But my God, like this was a good. I enjoyed watching this. Like there was, again, not many dead moments. And then when you get comedic shit with Stokely. You get that comedic shit. Then you get y'all know, like anytime I get on here, and if I want to complain about something from AEW, is a story that progresses. Like they need storytelling that carries on. And I'm loving what they're doing with the elite, with Hangman, with this whole confusion angle with him and the Dark Order, and are they really like?
Well, we didn't talk about Don Callis. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, Don Callis, because we know that it was the Blackpool Combat Club that probably attacked the Young Bucks, but the little hints throughout the night, especially with the promo segment in the backstage, when he was like, Kenny, it's okay. I think this is the best thing for you. Yeah. He was like, those kids will be back in a few months. I was like, I was like, he straight up said, forget your friends.
Forget your friends. It's all about you. You need me. Me. Yep.
Yeah, friends till the end, like Chucky.
Like Chucky.
Friends till the end. So I mean, like again, so like when you get a show that's engaging from pretty much from start to finish, that's a really good thing for the program. Now, what again, like they do seriously need to seriously step up what they're doing with the women. Like they seriously need to step that up. Like that is usually the one moment where we're trying to find something and it's like a lull, or it's like basically a filler. Like women are better than fillers. Like they have a great talented roster, and it feels like they're being used as fillers, and then that's fucked up on the booking side to them. Yeah. But everything else, apparently, what they've done, and this fucking guy, I've never seen him in my life. I've never seen this guy in my fucking life, and this was one of the best damn TV matches I've ever seen. Like, this guy almost killed himself like 7 times. Like especially that fucking, I guess it was it was a 630. The 630 off the fucking apron, and damn near smacking the back of his fucking head on the fucking the edge of the apron. I think he missed the shit by a.
No, he hit it. They showed the side angle on social media and slowed it down. He hit his head on the back of the apron and just kept going.
So he just thank God he grazed it, because that must have been a graze. Because thank God because that shit was a beautiful, scary sight. But my God, like he's fucking pulling out pay-per-view shit. Like this shit was insane. Like he was breakneck from Kenny ain't even finished his fucking entrance, and this motherfucker is flying darts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like this shit was action packed. Like one of the most funnest matches, because I didn't really have any expectations for it because I didn't know who he was. But seeing him, I'm like, Jesus, this guy is fucking. He's fucking dangerous. He's basically, I was getting like straight fucking Ray Phoenix on steroids vibes. like this is, I was just like, this shit he's insane, but I can't stop watching him.
It felt like the first time I ever saw Rey Mysterio. That's what it felt like with Vikingo. Like he was doing stuff that you had never seen before. And as someone that's seen Vikingo, he is not that smooth. He's not that smooth. Sometimes the stuff he tries, he will mess up. His footing will be wrong. But everything in this matchup, he hit it perfectly. And that's a testament to Kenny Omega just being in the right spot
there
on everything. Yeah. On everything he wanted to try. This dude did an implosion Dragon Rana to start the match. Like, that was the first move he did in the ring. I was like, what am I watching?
This guy, I mean, he must have, it's, you know what? And kudos to him, because he took that opportunity. I don't know when the hell I'm going to be back on this nationwide broadcast American network. I'm going to get this shit everything I got. And clearly people that's buzzing about not knowing who he was knows who the fuck he is today, because of all of the reclips and the rewatches and not only the high praise from Dick Sucking Dave, but he get like once it's because I feel like he watches shit with different lenses, but that's another opinion. But he gives it the praise, and it kind of gets that buzz going, so people starts to rewatch it, and then when people start to watch it, they're like, holy shit. But this one I felt was accurate as fuck. Like this one was like, holy shit, this is one of the best goddamn TV matches I've seen in my fucking life, and there's nothing I would change about it. So I was like, yeah, see, you know what, go ahead, bro, you slob all over their knobs today, give them that stars, my dude, because that shit deserved it.
Man, I feel like Kenny Omega's had my 3 favorite Dynamite matches of all time. The match with him and Pac, the 30-minute Iron Man match in 2020, the him and Danielson at Grand Slam in 2021, and then this match. This match is right up there with those 2 matches, and that says it all. We got Bala B, who says WCW used to do it, and for the most part, it worked for them. That's how we got Rey Mysterio on our TVs for the first time. It's fine to have these one-offs, because sometimes with the one-offs, they get a contract. Like that's where Ray showed out with D. Malenko and got a contract.
How old is Vikingo?
Vikingo is 25.
No.
Yeah. He's 25.
This man, his career is just starting. Like, it's literally.
I know you lying. For real?
For real.
You know that man is getting signed. And what the beautiful part about what's going to happen with Vikingo is when he gets signed, they're going to craft and tune that entire fucking style that he does, so he doesn't do that every single match that he performs.
Yeah, he didn't need to do all those moves. He did not need to.
I believe
he could have saved half of those.
Hit me out for a sec. I've never seen him in my life on national television. Krssi, I'm not sure if you've seen him on national TV before, but she might have never seen him before.
No.
You now know what he's capable
of doing. Yep.
Now it's like, holy shit. This motherfucker has bag after bag after bag after bag. And now, if we are any sensible wrestling fans know that all they need to do is tune that shit up and sprinkle that into pieces of his matches. His reactions are gonna be fucking amazing when he pulls some shits off. The
Can you
whole
imagine him and
shit,
Pac together?
oh my god, like see AEW.
Aleister Black. Malachi Black.
AEW is able to sign this guy, and the amount of matches that he can have with this roster,
Bangers.
this man can shine.
Bangers.
So could you? Oh my god, I would just love to see him and Darby Allin, bro.
Yeah,
dude, who's gonna die first?
Right. Yes. Look at SP's face.
That's the name of that match. Who dies first?
And that's just like, you thinking of what, like, I think they have like themselves a gem that they can work out. And the fact that he's only 25, they don't have to spend this big ass bag on him. Like, they don't have to sit there. He's not going to be super expensive to bring in. Like he could get a couple $100,000 and he's going to be great with that. Like, you know what I mean? So like, he's so young and so unpolished that I think that he is somebody that they need to try to pursue and get him in their fucking building, yo, because that guy is a fucking star in the making.
We got Caden with a super chat donation. Thank you so much, Caden. And he's doing it all the way from Disney because Caden is 12 years old, 12 or 20. But I appreciate the super chat donation.
How the fuck did he do that bouncing, springing Phoenix splash off the middle of the,
from outside the ring, and then did a Phoenix splash over the top rope into the ring, and that was after he almost broke Omega's neck with that Hurricane Rana. That reverse of the
can you hurry up and
powerbomb.
get your streaming together so we can go and rewatch these things instead of going to like just YouTube and watch this stuff? Like, hurry up.
Caden saying, I'm at Disney, of course, but still listening. We appreciate that, Caden. Love the dedication and love the support that you give us, brother. He says, best show. Thank you so much, Caden. And he also brings up a good point here with another comment. He says, and look at the quarter hours. They retained that viewership extremely well. Kenny Omega in singles is a draw, and people were intrigued by Vikingo and the Dream match. Yeah, it did. The highest quarter hours were the final 3 quarter hours, and that's extremely rare for Dynamite and even like Monday Night Raw. That's extremely rare that the final 3 quarters are the highest in the 18-49 demo, and it was on this show, which is a testament to 2 things: the Vikingo Kenny Omega matchup and the show long narrative. The show long narrative kept that viewership, and I want more of that. That's what me and Jimmy were talking about and gushing about so much on AE Ramble this week, is that show long story. Jimmy was like, Kenny Omega had to book the show. It couldn't have been Tony Khan because he's been asking for this for weeks.
Really?
That's true. I mean, that's funny. This is all we've, like, if you've ever had a complaint about AEW, and a constant complaint, because it's a very valid one, is their lack of consistent stories. And that is, if they are able, and remember, all you need is 1. You don't need 7 stories. You don't need 8 stories. Look at, like, the WWE is considered on fire right now.
With 1 story.
One story.
1 story. 1 that involves like 7 people.
Yep.
And
all
they
the supporting actors
on fire. They will probably break records of their own next week with WrestleMania weekend. That's for another time. But I'm just saying,
I don't want it to come to an end.
All they need is 1. If AEW can just consistently drive home something for us to know where we're looking forward to next week, yo, that will be the growth spurt that this company fucking needs, because they can finally put their backings and their billboards and their promotions into something consistent.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Vala B with a good point here. And now they announced this week Vikingo versus Commander at Supercard of Honor now. Commander Krssi, the one who did the rope walk in the ladder match a couple of weeks ago, is going up against Vikingo at Supercard of Honor, and we'll preview that show at the end of
That's
this
an Impact show.
podcast.
I mean, that's an Impact.
No, that's
right?
ROH. That's ROH.
All right, sorry. Oh, yeah. Oh, they're doing their own. Yes, I forget. Yes, I forget
Yep.
they own ROH, so they're gonna do that whole pay per view. Isn't that where Eddie Kingston's going against
Claudio? Yep.
Okay, got it. I'm
Yeah,
on the same. I'm on the right
sick.
page now. I'm okay.
Sick card. We'll talk about that later in the show. We got Bell who says, SP3, there's nothing wrong with being at Disney, okay? It is a small world after all the time for me. You got me there. King of the North, I appreciate the support. Yes, here to listen to SP3. Read the news. Let's get into the news. Why don't we?
Just what also what Bell said, like right before that comment too. Yes, the Dom and Ray story is excellent, but the WWE's driving force is the bloodline. that's their driving force, and that's not even a debate.
That's what's keeping the lights on.
Yeah, like it's the bloodline up here, and everything else is kind of below that with some room. But I would say Dom and Ray is the closest thing to.
Yeah, it was definitely a really good story, but we wouldn't really know about that story because we are now tuned into the bloodline, and then we happen to get this story.
And this is the Dom and Ray. We'll talk about what happened on SmackDown, which was a big moment. That is one I can 100% give the credit to Triple H, because that's all Triple H. Unlike the Bloodline story where Triple H had a whole set table and he just put a fork over here, a fork over there, put a plate over there. It was already set up for him. This one, he set it up and everything himself. But we got to talk about the biggest news story of the week, because Wednesday it was all rainbows and candy for AEW. Not only did you have a great episode of Dynamite earlier in the day on Wednesday, CM Punk proved himself to be a fan of Steve Kern's new book and praising it in a comment on a recent social media post. The AEW star, who is currently out due to injury and whose status with the company is uncertain, commented on a post from Pro Wrestling Podcast Instagram that referenced Dax Harwood recently saying that the book made him miss wrestling. And Punk wrote in the comments, "Best book about a fascinating man in a strange business since Brett wrote his book. Great story about Gator and Coco fighting in the locker room, and then Lawler drags him in the office and the next day and they squash it. Fascinating," alluding to he would be open to squashing things with the Elite. So people were very optimistic about the future and maybe CM Punk returning to AEW. And then Thursday happened, ladies and gentlemen, because on Thursday, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer took to the Wrestling Observer message boards to address the booking of Jon Moxley versus CM Punk ahead of AEW All Out 2022. And of course, and more importantly, the squash match that led up to that match, the 3-minute match where Moxley became the undisputed AEW World Champion. And he said, and I quote Meltzer, he wrote, "Do you know why they didn't advertise Punk versus Moxley longer and why it had a short build? Because Punk agreed to it. Then AEW got a legal letter saying he wasn't down with it and wasn't doing it, and they didn't know if he'd come until Tony put his foot down. There are a lot of nice things you could say about him, and you can absolutely argue his position on Moxley was correct, but you can't argue he willingly did what he was asked in that scenario." In response, CM Punk went full on Super Saiyan, taking to his Instagram stories to blast AEW, Tony Khan, Jon Moxley, Chris Jericho, and Dave Meltzer, saying, "Sigh. I wasn't cleared to come back to wrestle yet. Then plan was to wrestle at the pay-per-view. I sat and I listened to Moxley's Rocky 3 idea. I explained how I'd never seen a Rocky movie and thought the idea sucked. But if the boss wanted to do it, whatever. He said he wouldn't lose to me. I'd never experienced someone refusing to lose to me. I just laughed. I asked Tony if this is what he wanted. He said yes. He's the boss, so I said okay. But I'd need to be cleared first. They kept saying it could just be a squash, so I didn't need to be cleared. I scoffed at that. My health is more important. Dave Meltzer is a liar. Jericho is a liar and a stooge. There were plans, but plans always change. But I'll never put a company above my health ever again. After deleting this post on his Instagram story, Chris Jericho responded to this with his IG story where he posted a Matt Hardy delete meme on his story.
I didn't see this part.
Which Punk responded to that with a meme of his own saying, of quoting Roger Montague and said, I'm too old for this shit. So, what do you think, Miss Krssi Love, about this IG story and a lot of claims came out regarding the Jon Moxley CM Punk feud? Punk claiming that AEW asked him to wrestle without being cleared, claiming that Jon Moxley didn't want to lose to him, claiming that he thought this whole idea, the whole build-up sucked, but he went with it because Tony Khan wanted to do it, and the fact that CM Punk has never watched a Rocky movie. I think that's the biggest thing about all of this. But Miss Krssi Love, what do you think about Punk's latest outburst on social media?
It's Punk. It's like, are we surprised, friends? Not really. No. Same old antics. Is it true now? Ooh, nobody knows. But it's funny. I'm here for all of the smoke. I'm loving the beef. Like, these are grown ass men of a certain age, and they're fighting on Instagram of all places. IG, not even Twitter. They go on IG, which is great. I'm great for IG, right? But yeah, this is something that is some type of insight. So he wanted to fight. He was supposed to fight, but then John said no. But then he wasn't cleared, but he was going to do it anyway, be it a squash match. I don't see him doing a squash match, first of all, at all. Now that's where I think the little lie was kind of like far-fetched. It was like, come on, friend, like, you do a squash match? Never, ever. You're CM Punk. You held yourself very high at a very high standard. You would never do a squash match.
Dutch Mantel rewatched the matchup and he was like, that's not by definition a squash match. He was like, you had the out. He was like, you got offense in, you got the kick, and it was your injury that caused you to lose so fast. So right. Dutch, being someone who's been involved in the wrestling business, says he doesn't think that was a squash match.
Yeah, I don't think it was a squash match. But hey, that's just me. I agree with Uncle Dutch. Uncle Dutch be knowing the stuff too. So yeah, I think Punk is just, trying to get people worked up or whatever. But hey, listen, that's his great that's what he does best. That's him.
Top guy JJ, what do you think about this mess?
He looks annoyed.
I know. What do you think about this mess with CM Punk? Not only burying, AEW, Tony Khan, Jon Moxley, but also just threw a stray at Chris Jericho as well. But he is alluding to the fact that a lot of people are now thinking that Chris Jericho is the one who's been stooging off information to Dave Meltzer. So what do you think about this whole situation with CM Punk?
I'm tired of this shit, yo. so tired of this shit. And people, he's working, and I think it doesn't make it less annoying. This is like quality, like good he's bitching about something that has now happened 7 months ago still. This is like, did we
need attention?
Have enough time to talk about this shit? Did we not have enough time to throw more people under the bus? Now the whole Jericho thing, I'm not gonna comment on that unless because more shit is gonna come out based on this shit here.
Oh, we got a second part to the story. I'm just letting y'all talk about the IG story.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I would not be surprised if Jericho's a little snitch ass bitch. I wouldn't be surprised.
What he does look like the type
whatsoever. I wouldn't be surprised if he's, that man is in his 50s now. He is trying to keep his job intact, trying to stay on top of the food chain backstage. So he might just be a little snitch ass bitch. I ain't even gonna
snitch ass bitch. I love it. Snitch ass bitch.
But bro, like, oh my God, like what made that whole thing like, yo, I'm starting to like you less and less now. How the fuck you haven't seen a single Rocky movie?
Yeah.
How? Sway?
At least the first of like the second and the last one you should have seen.
Like, yo, this guy.
My God, Terry was in one of them.
Like this guy.
Well,
is
Terrence, not
so,
Terry.
Terrence from Florida.
But it makes like he's so out of touch with society in the real world that this bubble that he lives in, he believes it is all factual information that he has created. And the world revolves and it makes sense to him from him. Like it's like he's talking to himself and it's kind of validating his shit when he types it and hits the word send. And it's like, he ain't asking nobody about any of this shit. He ain't got no advisors. He ain't listening to his wife. You already know that shit. Because this guy is just, he's so off his rocker. Like, I pray that I never become like this man when I hit his age. Because this is so just benign and petty, and it's like he is such a bitter old man. So even like if he decides to come back to work, this shit ain't gonna feel the same. Like, he is a living, walking human toxin that is in the professional wrestling business, and the only company in the world that will tolerate this shit now is AEW. Like, this is a one-way street that has one possible ending and one possible restart. That is ending with AEW and somehow restarting with AEW. It's just so dumb. It's so dumb.
My whole issue with this whole thing is that CM Punk is valid, and he has every right to feel any type of way he wants to. But it's his reaction that is just making this whole thing worse. Like, he doesn't. How are you getting mad at what Dave Meltzer said? You said you don't care what Dave Meltzer said in your rant at the All Out press conference, but now you're responding to him? What are we doing? What are we doing, Phil? What are we doing? Like, seriously. And then I love this comment by King of the North. I love how he came out that Vince McMahon had to pay off legal fees for his own sexual misconduct, but the biggest news is CM Punk. Yes, because Punk had to make himself the biggest news story of the week. And also I do agree with this comment as well from Bala B, saying that Punk is a pussy for deleting the post. I don't think he's a pussy. I think it's mad corny. Like, if you saying what you're gonna say it with your chest. That's what we always learn, Top Guy JJ.
I like that comment better.
I mean, yeah, pussy,
like
corny, whichever way you want to reference it, but say what you gotta say and say it with your chest. Why are you deleting stuff? Like, nobody was gonna see it, nobody was gonna catch that screen grab. You knew what you was doing, so stand by it. Oh, man.
Bitch.
Punk is too much. He's too much.
And I'm not sure if you heard any of that rant that I just went on about this fucker, but I've already been calling him toxic. Like, he is a walking human toxin. Like he's literally the man. You can see the toxin bubbles coming out of his fucking body when he's walking through a fucking AEW turnstile, and he's got to get double screened because he fucking goes off and fucking in the detective machine because he's a fucking walking toxin and he's a fucking walking chemical. Like there's no good ending coming out of this.
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough out here in these streets. Frantic World saying that this doesn't make AEW look bad. This makes CM Punk look bad.
100%.
Yeah, I think that's not what I don't think he realizes that more often than not, a lot of the stuff he's saying is not making, the people that he's blaming it on look bad. It's making him look bad because he's doing all this stuff publicly. Like, we don't know. We can't comment on what happened during Brawl Out. We don't know who started the brawl. We don't know who was at fault. We don't know what happened after Hangman Page said something that Punk didn't like in a promo. We don't know what happened and how AEW dealt with it or didn't deal with it. We don't know a lot of those information. The only stuff we can comment on is the stuff that CM Punk himself have made public. He's the one that made reference to Hangman Adam Page because he let what Page said in the promo referencing Colt Cabana apparently fester inside of him for 2 whole months. And when he came back and had an opportunity to do a promo, he just had to mention Hangman Adam Page and try to make him look bad. We know what he said publicly during the All Out presser, because he made all that shit publicly where he buried the company, buried Tony Khan to his face, buried the EVPs, Colt Cabana, Hangman Adam Page. And now he's making all this shit publicly when it could be dealt in-house and we would not know the lesser.
And Vala B, no, doesn't make you a fucking hypocrite, because you know why? Because if CM Punk shows up on TV screens, everyone is gonna watch.
Yes.
It ain't just you, my man. Everyone is going to be interested in not only what he has to say, but everyone's reaction to his ass.
It's true. It's very true. It's very true. And we got Romeo saying that doesn't it go against his contract to say derogatory things on social media? And I think that's what our producer, Baby Seth, was saying before we went live here, that he thinks that this was a power play by Punk trying to breach his AEW contract. And that's a possibility. That's definitely a possibility at this point. But there's more information for us to discuss, Krssi Love, Top Guy JJ, because then on Friday, Fightfull Select had been doing their own reporting and research on this whole CM Punk thing, and they put out a detailed report on everything CM Punk related. The report notes that according to those in the know in All Elite Wrestling, Punk has said he wasn't comfortable competing in any capacity without being cleared ahead of his matchup to Jon Moxley on the August 24th AEW Dynamite. There were some issues around the creative regarding the build to the matchup, and there had been concerns that Punk may not show, but special travel arrangements had been made for Punk on the day of the match. Punk had apparently at least mentioned the idea of some additional payment for the matchup as well, since he was working without being cleared. CM Punk and Jon Moxley are now said to have appeared to have heat with one another, according to those whom Moxley has spoken to since All Out. Moxley was one of the few people who led a meeting for the locker room after the All Out brawl, along with Chris Jericho and Bryan Danielson. There's been no word of heat between Danielson and Punk, though it has been reported Jericho and Punk shouted at each other after the All Out altercation. It is noted that Punk is very much aware of the heat on him and the possibility that the talent could potentially walk out if he returned. There are those in AEW who believe if things came down to either Moxley or Punk, AEW would pick Moxley. At least some of the heat is believed to have died down since All Out, though there's still a fair amount. As for Punk's relationship with AEW, there has been contact between the two sides, and some close to Punk say that he has spoken to or had a couple of meetings with Tony Khan, though there's no word on whether anything came from them. There was a planned meeting for the middle of February that got delayed due to the Jarrett's funeral, and while it has been said at one point that Punk wanted out of his contract without any sort of non-complete clause, sources believed in recent weeks that Punk was open to an AEW return and even wanted to do so. At least one person told the outlet that Punk was willing to apologize for his comments during the post All Out media scrum, though it is not clear to who he was willing to apologize to or whether it would be public or private. Punk had expressed regret for aspects of that night, according to several people, and there's been no word of anything regarding legal action from Punk being broached, and those spoken with believe there had been productive progression away from that. However, following the Instagram story this week, sources in AEW said they'd lost confidence in the idea of Punk returning to the company. Regarding Punk's heat with Hangman Adam Page over the promo that Punk believed referenced Colt Cabana, which Punk referenced during his All Out rant, those the site had spoken to say that Page had tried to take himself out of the whole situation and move past it. As to Punk's injury, he tore his tricep during his matchup with Jon Moxley at All Out, and those in the know said that he was hopeful that he'd be back to health by late January. They believe that he would be able to be cleared now or very soon. Some additional context to the All Out brawl was reported, noting that there were other talent present at the time who did not get involved and weren't suspended. There were also another production employee who got hit with a chair that hadn't been previously reported on. There's no word on which employee or who was responsible for the chair. The report debunks a rumor that Punk and Kenny Omega spoke a few days after the brawl, noting that Punk was getting set for surgery and that Omega had other things taking his time. However, the report notes that the two did have a brief talk right after the brawl, and Punk is said to have told Omega that his issue, it wasn't with him. Those near the conversation said that they were going to keep talking, but Ace Steel was still being dealt with, and even people close to Punk state that Omega was very composed in the aftermath. Omega saved the dog! I will stand by that to this day. As noted, last month, Punk attended NJPW's Battle in the Valley show, and sources in NJPW say that they didn't know Punk was going to be there, but would have welcomed him anyway. They just didn't want AEW to think they were conspiring against them. Any notion of that was said to be quickly made clear, and the only people who knew Punk would be at the show was Lars Fredrickson, who he attended the show with, his close friend Lou D'Angeli, who is Anthem's VP of Marketing, and Rob Naylor. Fredrickson had asked Rocky Romero in January if he could attend with a friend, and it was all set up without NJPW being aware that the friend was Punk. Punk is said to have wanted to support Mercedes Moné for her New Japan Pro Wrestling debut, and CM Punk is still under contract with All Elite Wrestling, and the site has reached out to both Punk and AEW, but has not heard back from either in any sort of official capacity. So, great job by Fightfull Select kind of detailing everything CM Punk related since All Out. Shop Guy JJ now knowing this new information, whether it's the Punk and Omega thing, but more importantly, I want to talk about the first part of that, about Punk not being cleared before that first matchup with Jon Moxley. What do you think about that whole situation? Because that does paint AEW in a bad light, because that is the pretty much one of the major reasons why CM Punk had left WWE in the first place.
I feel like that comes a little bit of twofold, because I think CM Punk, when he came back, I think there's a part of you as a competitor, like when you come back, you want to be durable for the company. You've been away from the game for so long that you don't want to let not only the people that is booking you down, but also the fans that is going to be coming to attendance in your show. So part of you as a competitor kind of hides what you're really going through to an extent. But then AEW becomes the fault place because of the lack of thorough testing on him. So they should have done all the MRIs. They should have taken all of the x-rays and every possible exam when you have somebody that you're basically putting your chickens on to not only put butts in the seats, but to give you a good not only performance, but to also bring your show to another level, which he was attempting to do. So I'm not gonna sit here and dunk on him for 3 hours of the show, because I think at the end of the day, I think CM Punk is not, and I want to say, I don't think he's a bad person. Like,
No.
I don't think he's a bad person. And I want, like, when I say toxin, it's because he refuses to talk to anyone about what his issues are. And he just spits them out. And I think and I see it in the comment section, that's where he needs to talk to his wife. Like, he just needs to get level setted. He doesn't need to bring her involved with the cameras because, God, she wouldn't know what to defend and where to defend it because that motherfucker is sending, he got a fucking mag 6, he's got a fucking submachine gun and he's spraying everywhere. She wouldn't know where the fuck to defend. But she can sit his ass down and hear him out and just let him get all of this out, and then they can probably level set on you know what's valid and what's not so valid, because I think he is dealing with everything on his own and dealing with it all on his own when you have a life partner that you can literally sit down and I need to get this shit off my chest and I need to just know where the fuck, like what the fuck is going on right now. I need you to lay it on me straight because he appears to be a straight shooter. So just lay it on me straight. This is what the fuck is going on right now. And and he can hear it from a person that he respects, from someone that loves him, and all of this other shit that's happening. I think if he would have been truthful to his wife, he would not have performed at that show. I don't think he would have performed at that show, which would not have put AEW at that kind of fault, because I do think that he's hiding a piece of that injury so he can go perform, and it did not go well. So now it's on AEW because they didn't catch it. Now, the Kenny Omega shit, I think we were kind of going there already. Like, we knew that, listen, Kenny is the saver of a dog. We know this already. And we know that Kenny, I think Larry is his name.
Yep.
He saved
Kenny's name is Larry?
No, the dog. The dog's name is Larry.
Dog's name is Larry.
Got it.
So we know that he saved Larry, and we knew, like, this whole beef has never been with Kenny Omega, so that really didn't come as a surprise, honestly. But I think it's kind of refreshing to hear that there is possibly, if he's not going to talk to his wife, possibly somebody that can talk to him and give him a fair hearing and listen to him and let him get feedback the way he needs it. Because I think all of this not only is petty as fuck, but they're all professional grown ass men that's got a fucking mega platform and has a chance to change the game, and they keep focusing on this other shit where they could literally be building a fucking conglomerate together. So at the end of the day, cool your fucking head a little bit, but we don't know if that's ever going to happen. But I think an actual chat, and without them spitting back and forth at each other and having an actual conversation, could go a long fucking way. But I think the first place that he needs to get that feedback from is his goddamn wife, because that is the person that knows him better than he probably knows himself.
I 100% agree with that part. What do you think, Miss Krssi Love, especially with Punk now having heat with not just Chris Jericho, not just probably the Young Bucks of the Elite, but also John Moxley with the whole situation that transpired over at All Out last year?
It's unfortunate. I missed a piece of the information once you was talking about afterwards. But it's such an unfortunate thing where this person, where I don't know what it is that they feel they need to do for us fans, but you are more important than us, because at the end of the day, you still have to go home and go through life. We're going to keep, do our own thing. We're going to keep watching these guys wrestle. And for you to feel like you have this obligation, which is great, you want to perform, but your health and what you need to do with yourself is very important. And you do need some type of therapy, because something is obviously, there's some deeper outrooted issues that needs to be talked to, and you need to speak to someone. And JJ said you probably should start with your wife, maybe, Or maybe she's an enabler. I don't know. Like, it could be that too. Like, it could be a bunch of things where she's just like enabling him, saying, oh, he has a bunch of like yes people around him and saying, okay, yeah, you're good. You can do this. I think you're good. When you need people that be honest and say no and sit you down, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, where are your real friends? Like, we need people to sit you down. You need an intervention. You need someone to say, listen, you're fucking up, friend. Like, you fucking up the bag. Like, you need to stop this. Like, get your shit together. If you really want to perform and do your thing, like, stop lying and get it together.
And I think Punk and his fans need to realize that all of these things can be true. Everything that Punk is saying about everybody else, the company was wrong, Tony Khan was wrong, John Moxley was wrong, Chris Jericho was wrong, the Young Bucks were wrong, Colt Cabana was wrong, Hangman Adam Page was wrong. But it can also be true that you were wrong. Yeah. And he has yet to publicly, he's publicly made all this be known that he's pointing the finger at all these other people, but he has never publicly taken any responsibility for anything. Yes, we have this report to go off of now, but we don't know if Punk's going to come out tomorrow and be on Instagram. None of this report was right. That it was a stooge that stooged it off. You need to publicly take some responsibility and take some account for your part in all of this.
I feel like people like, of a certain like stature, like levels, like, like we're regular people, but people that have like money and like they have like fame, it's really hard for them to take account for things that they've done. Like, they can't admit that they were wrong. And it's okay that you were wrong. Like, people make mistakes. It's all right. Like, we would be more behind you if you say, you know what, man, I fucked up, son. My bad. Yo, I was really like, and I know what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really think that you really have to figure out, like, what the hell? Like, even like talk to yourself. Like, talk to yourself. You have great conversations. Just don't answer yourself.
That clearly ain't working.
That too, but you need to like really like say, yo, friend, you really like look at yourself in the mirror. Like, is any like he really like there has to be a point where someone's like, yo, you got to take account for your actions, and your actions are really fucking up the bag right now. I don't know what it is, but you are messing up, and you need people to talk to you and say, I messed up, because they don't like to take account for whatever reason. I don't know. It's just like blasé to them.
Accountability is a big thing.
And hearing, honestly, and I think you spread a really like sound opinion, and I think that was the point that was the highlighted comment is making a great point is, yes, I think, and we as the guys are over here saying that maybe we should obviously look to our wife, right? Mm-hmm. But what you said was so paramount in saying if she potentially, and this is not like it's old shit.
Not, yeah, right.
We don't know.
If she is potentially an enabler of the shit that he's doing, that's a problem.
That's the problem. Yeah.
That's a problem. And that is not coming only like from Krssi, and you see it in there's multiple, and there's a few ladies in this chat, which we are very appreciative of. There's not only Krssi saying that, but there's other women saying the same thing. So there is something, and I always say there's something about a woman's intuition that is never wrong, right? Indeed. So when you get that intuition from multiple different avenues, there's got to be a piece of there that you got to think about. And part of what was said earlier is maybe that person is somebody like a Kenny Omega that you are in still good terms with. Yeah. Like, and I think like he needs to get it from somewhere. And himself ain't it, because that shit ain't working. Because himself put that fucking story on IG. That was him.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's all you, dog.
That's all you. That your fingers did that.
And what you were responding to didn't come from anyone in AEW. It came from Dave Meltzer, who you could say got his source from somebody in AEW, but it came from Dave Meltzer. That's the person that you were responding to, who's a reporter. You say you don't care what the reporters do, and they're all liars, but yet you're responding to it.
But and you keep responding to the troll. Like, don't respond to them. Like, it's okay. Just scroll past it. The story, you could swipe, you don't have to see the story. You could go to the next one.
We got Alan
fine.
Banky asking an interesting question. He said, do you guys blame AEW because it was both Punk and Rosa getting injured and Tony not taking the titles off of either of the two? No, that's not anything to fault AEW for. That's just a decision. And I mean, you could say it was the wrong decision, the right decision. It doesn't matter, but I can't blame AEW because they kept the title on him. And that's the whole situation with Thunder Rosa makes me not believe CM Punk that they were trying to force you to have a match when you're not cleared. When Thunder Rosa, there's been a question how injured Thunder Rosa has been.
Right, everyone is asking what she is
behind closed doors. And he also asks, do you know where Thunder Rosa is? She's currently back on the road with AEW. She has come back to AEW. She's doing the Spanish commentary while she recovers from her injury. So she is actually back with AEW already, but just not back in the ring as of yet because she hasn't recovered from her injuries. But that whole situation makes me not believe this whole they tried to make me wrestle without
liar. That's that competitive liar, and something probably didn't go his way during the match or prior to it.
See, that's the thing. This is what I believe. This is what I believe is the fact that they probably gave him a choice. They were like, you either relinquish the title or we need to do this. And he was like, well, I don't want to relinquish the title, so I'll do this.
So like you don't want to
And then he came back with,
you know what? I think it ain't too bad. I think I'm fine. I think I'm good to go. I think I'm good to go. I think I can power through this. And if I need to take a couple weeks off, that'll be cool, right? But I think I can get through this, knowing that shit is fucked up. That shit is torn. You fucking hit a fucking whistle, and that shit is gonna fucking be excruciating, and you need surgery. But no, I'm good. I'm good to go. I could hit a 250-pound man with no problem. That's fine.
and it's weird.
Moxley
it's
is
weird.
A big motherfucker.
Man. Yep.
It's all weird with this Moxley and Punk thing because Punk bigged up Moxley after All Out. That was the only person he had anything positive to say about.
It was
All Out
media. You fucking don't want no smoke with John Moxley. He's fucking that's it. That's all that was. He don't want no smoke with that man.
Maybe that too.
Yo, we seen John Moxley. This motherfucker is a monster.
Yeah. We did. We saw him.
This motherfucker is that motherfucking Dean Ambrose dude is dead. dead.
Oh yeah, my son disrespected him and called him that. I was like, he's like, that's Dean Ambrose. I was like, don't disrespect him. Don't do that.
Don't call him by his slave name.
That's not his name. Respect him. His name is John Moxley. Don't do that ever again.
And the other dude is dead.
That's dead.
John Moxley.
He killed that.
He
left that in the prison.
When he had the shackles, yep.
Well, we got more AEW news. We'll run through a few of these. Jamie Hayter did not appear on Wednesday night's AEW Dynamite, even though she is the women's world champion and is feuding with the Outcasts. During the latest Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer said that Hayter was not at the taping due to visa issues. Hayter recently returned to the UK in order to get her visa renewed, but it is suspected to be back pretty soon. Everything has already been worked out and is said to be fine. Also, Fightfull Select had a report on this year's edition of AEW All Out. Traditionally, AEW has held the event in the Chicago area at the Now Arena, which was the home of the first All-In event in 2018. Of course, except for 2020 due to the COVID-19 restrictions. However, Fightfull reports that AEW might be moving the event to a new arena this year. According to the report, sources close to the situation have said that there are talks about holding All Out 2023 at the United Center in Chicago rather than the Now Arena in Hoffman Estates. AEW has previously held the first dance edition of Rampage, which had the return of CM Punk, and Forbidden Door at the arena. Both were sold out events for the company. While All Out might not be held at the Now Arena, AEW is still reportedly to run the Now Arena later on, and AEW has not yet announced any plans for or venue for All Out 2023 as of yet. Speaking of AEW pay-per-views, PW Insider has an update on AEW/New Japan Forbidden Door 2 ticket sales after the pre-sale has started on Wednesday. According to the report, the pre-sale did massive business for the company, with AEW sources revealing that 11,000 to 12,000 tickets were sold instantly during the online pre-sale, and the rest of the tickets immediately sold out after the general sale on Friday, and only 2,000 tickets are now available on secondary markets. So some big business for Forbidden Door 2. And then finally, we'll talk about this one. As previously reported, Miro allegedly has not returned to AEW due to issues with creative and turning several pitches down. Miro has not appeared for the company since All Out back in September of last year. And in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, it was noted that one of the pitches to Miro was for Full Gear as part of a battle royal. Miro would have lost the match after getting to the final two, with Hangman Adam Page winning. He turned that down, and Page ended up getting injured, so the match never happened. Tony Khan has said after the pay-per-view they would try to get in contact with the Redeemer again, but his name has not been mentioned since, and he currently has 3 years left on his deal. So what do you guys think about Hangman Adam Page, Miro turning down an idea for him to lose in a battle royal to Hangman Adam Page? That was probably the battle royal the referencing was the number one contenders battle royal that went down, where Page won by eliminating RoH, and he went on to verse Jon Moxley in October in Cincinnati. That was the match where he suffered his concussion. What do you think about Miro turning that idea down when he would be losing to one of the most over baby faces in the company? So it sounds very strange. What do you think, Krssi?
I think he should have done it, being the last two in the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble, and their Rumble would have been great. He definitely should have just took it, and then you don't know what have happened after that.
Yeah, RoH has been getting used consistently ever since that performance. So it's very, very strange that he didn't do that. What do you think about Miro's absence, and what do you think it's going to take to bring him back, Top Guy?
A world championship run is what would take for him to be considered to come back, which he does not deserve whatsoever. So he had clearly the same problem as Rusev in the WWE until they fucking just completely demoralized and buried the shit out of him, because he was a pretty hot ticket. He was a pretty big deal. He had a fucking match with John Cena at WrestleMania. Obviously, we know how the match went.
Right.
But he was booked big in AEW. He's been booked big. And he all of a sudden
doesn't want to do this.
This ain't good enough for him either.
Sit home.
It's like a fuck you to the rest of the roster that is busting their asses to not only get on fucking Rampage, but to get on Dynamite and have a chance to shine. It's like, nah, I need to be on the marquee. I need to be in the spotlight. And it's like, bro, grow the fuck up. How long have you been in this business, bro? Like, you've been in this shit for over a decade at this point, and you still don't understand that you need to not only fucking help the other talent, but continue to build yourself. Like, this is
another one that's not listening to his wife, probably, or maybe she's an enabler saying, "Oh, you're probably the biggest thing ever."
Wife,
CJ's probably like, "You don't need them. You're better than this." No, matter of fact, she is the one that's doing it. You don't need that. You're Bruce. You're Miro.
Yes. CJ Perry is probably the worst advisor.
Yeah. And she out here on TikTok and all that stuff. She was like, "Yo, we can do so much better than that."
Yeah, like we can go back to the WWE.
We'll be fine, honey. We'll go back to the WWE. We'll get the tank back.
Like, the shit that was the most over thing in the company. Just like that. Yeah, the shit that was the most over thing in the company at the time for him didn't get a bat of a fucking eye. Didn't get no attention whatsoever. Nope. And he comes here. He's the Redeemer. He's this badass. He would have been top 2 in a battle royal against a fucking world champion. And that ain't enough. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, it's like, dude, it's like that's a person that you would be afraid to give the world title to, because of his lack of team unity and gotta be somebody that's willing to give to receive. And if you can't give somebody the opportunity, when we give it to you, you're not going to want to give it to someone else. And that's a problem. That's a big problem. So good. I'm glad that they're not going to sit there and keep fucking sucking his dick and hoping that he fucking just
like
shows
pleading
up
with him to come back.
Yeah, like, get the fuck out of here with that shit, you fucking bum. That's why you got 3 years left on your fucking contract, you idiot. Now you got to sit there until 2026 and probably do nothing for half of it.
It's not looking good. Not looking good at all. Annika saying, hold up, Dean Ambrose was crazy too. Dean Ambrose was good, but he also, pushed a hot dog cart to the ring, and when he finally turned heel, he said the fans made him sick, and he wore a Bane mask and took a needle in the ass because he said the fans make him sick. There was a lot of corny shit to go along with
you could tell it was the stuff that he didn't want to do into as well. Like the character didn't feel authentic. We didn't like the character because he didn't like the character. He didn't like none of the stuff that he was doing. You have to be engaged with the person, but he was doing it because that was his job. But that's not what he wanted to do. This is right now what he's doing. This is what he wanted to do. He wants to bleed every week and lose blood and kick people's asses. And that's what he wants to do. Cause havoc. He wants to be a goon.
He wants to be a goon, yes.
we met both of these people. We've met. They are not the same person.
Yep.
They are not the same person. Like, you know what? I might have a chance. I might want a little smoke with this little soft, crazy, lunatic fringe person. Because this guy was a character.
Because you'll be on TV every week.
He's a character, right? He's having fun. He's doing goofy shit. He had a fucking plant. Like he's goofy. Like
a plant named Mitch.
But that guy, John Moxley? Nah, bro. See, there's a reason CM Punk is congratulating him and showing him all the love when he got fucking venom coming out of both his fucking ears.
Damn shame CM Punk hasn't watched the Rocky movie. Rocky 3 was great.
I don't understand.
Clubber Lang, come on, man. Clubber Lang. All right, we can finally move on from the AEW talk.
We can finally move on.
Let's talk about some WWE Smackdown from last night. Smackdown was a pretty good show building up to WrestleMania with 8 days remaining before the show of shows. And you had the show featured Cody Rhodes defeating Ludwig Kaiser in the opener. Post-match, Paul Heyman challenged Cody to face Solo Sikoa on WWE Raw this Monday, which Rhodes accepted. You also had Gunther beat Butch in a good matchup after a contract.
His name. I'm sorry, friend.
They apparently it's supposed to be coming back, but probably by the end of the year. They said that was
the end of the year. What?
That was the report from. That was the report from WrestleVote earlier this week that they're going to change his name back to Pete Dunne by the end of the year. This was after a contract signing for the Intercontinental Championship triple threat match for WrestleMania. Post-match, Drew McIntyre hit Gunther with the Claymore, but it looked like he was aiming for Sheamus with that one. You also had the KO show with Sami Zayn, with Kevin Owens gifting Sami Zayn a new KO Mania shirt that actually said WrestleZania on the front of it, but they were attacked by the Usos when they hugged again this week. The Usos standing tall to end the show after Kevin Owens ran them off with a steel chair. Then you had the moment of the night, one of the biggest pops since the hug on last week's SmackDown. You had LA Knight first defeating Rey Mysterio thanks to his son Dominik Mysterio getting involved. After the match, Dom once again got in Ray's face, but then he got into the face of his sister and his mom, who were sitting front row in Las Vegas, even telling his mother to shut up until finally finally, Rey Mysterio beat his son's ass, punched him in the face, laid him on his ass, and accepted his WrestleMania challenge. So it is official. It will be Rey Mysterio versus Dominik Mysterio at WrestleMania 39 next weekend. It was a huge moment, got a big response from the fans. Like I said before, this is something that I will 100% give credit to Triple H. He paced this out well. It built to the big moment just a few days before WrestleMania, and it's probably the third best build-up to WrestleMania outside of stuff regarding the bloodline. Miss Krssi Love, do you think it was worth it for waiting so long? I know you were someone that was complaining that they waited too long with this whole thing, but did you think it was worth it for that big response they got in Las Vegas last night?
Absolutely. Yes, I believe I was one of the people that was like, all right, come on, let's just hurry this shit up. Let's go. Like, how much we need the show is in a week and a half, guys. Like, we need to get this shit together, friends. Like, I think if they probably could have like maybe said something a little bit earlier, they probably could have had more built, like more fights or like more things. Like maybe mom could have gotten involved some kind of way, like from like yesterday, just being inside the crowd. Like, I feel like it has been like more added to the story, but hey, I mean, the pop was big. And can't wait to see if they execute on, whichever day next weekend.
So my question to the top guy, JJ, who do you see winning at WrestleMania? Do you think that Rey puts his son over, or do you think that Rey gets the win to finally make up for the past 8 months of letting his son walk all over him?
Oh, I think this possibly could be Rey Mysterio's last match.
Yeah, I'm thinking that. I'm feeling that too.
Obviously, if you want your son to really, get noticed as a potential big star, you got to put him over. You got to put him over. You got to put him over. And I kind of disagreed with Krssi in a sense here, and that doesn't happen very often. But the execution of what they did here was beautiful.
Yeah, that part was great. Yes,
we asked for the storytelling, and they pushed this until we still get another show before we get 2 more shows before WrestleMania.
That's true. You're right.
Like we get the go home Raw, we get the go home SmackDown, and then we get we don't need 6 weeks of these 2 going back and forth. We got
that's true.
We got the build, we got the anger, we got the boiling point, and then we got fuck this.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Got it all. And
I'll stand corrected.
Now, let's get it on. Let's get it on. And I think with 7 days remaining, I think they did pretty damn good with this one. So I think even earlier when it was mentioned that they did, yes, this is a fantastic storyline. So this doesn't go hand in hand with what the start of the conversation was with them. But these 2 have been fucking delivering. This is one of Rey's best WWE stories ever. And the fact that he's involved in such a long story, this is his best work since Eddie Guerrero.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say both of his best feuds in WWE had to do with Dom.
Yep.
and the fact that he's able to do this at such an advanced stage in his career, that's fucking amazing. And the fact that you're able to do this with your kid and your family, Rey Mysterio is in heaven right now.
He's gone into the Hall of Fame. It's over. This is a walk in the park.
One of his other good ones had to do with his family too. When CM Punk sang Aaliyah "Happy Birthday."
Oh, that? and to be in the family business of wrestling and to have your son participating in the match with you, that's the first time ever. You got Shane and Vince. I'm sorry, you got Shane and Vince, but that's fucking owner and owner's kid. That's owner and owner. That's their company. So of course they're gonna stuff, right? History. But these 2 don't own shit in the company. And you got to have a match with your child at this show like that. Man, that man is over the moon right now.
Yeah, I think so. I definitely think so.
done a great job of building this off. And like I said, I give Triple H 100% credit because Dom's heel turn went down under his regime. He set this up. They put, like Belle is saying here, she also liked how they put Ray on SmackDown to separate them so we wouldn't be tired of this storyline once we got here.
That's
they
true.
did a great
You're right.
job
Yes.
of pacing this out and making it realistic every step of the way. Alan bringing up, though, Triple H can't book a women's feud though. We also got
wrestling right now.
Also got Frantic World that says, I have a question. I need you to be serious with me. Does Triple H hate booking the women's division in WWE? I mean, Charlotte's promo last night on SmackDown was one of the worst dog crap things I have heard in quite some time. She let the what chance get to her. It was so bad.
Can I just say, since she's been back, I don't know what it is, but she ain't been the same. Something is off. It is off.
She's a face. She's a face.
She was getting good reactions for like the 2 months in, and then since Rhea chose her, it's like her babyface reaction has gotten lesser and lesser as we get closer to WrestleMania.
Flair is a heel. She's a heel.
Yeah.
Flair is a heel. Like, this babyface shit ain't it. Like, and if you're a Flair, you're a fucking heel. You're the dirtiest players in the game. Like.
And this is where Triple H will get the flack for, because they chose the wrong people for fighting these two champions. But
Charlotte might have wanted this. Like, she might have wanted this. Like,
you're absolutely right. You could be right.
But sometimes you gotta say no. You gotta say no. You gotta say no.
Now, if this shit probably doesn't go well, he's probably like, this is why we book you instead of you booking yourself.
Yep.
I mean, there could be two folds in this. Like, Charlotte could have wanted Rhea Ripley, where obviously every fucking body wanted the rematch of her and Asuka.
But we know for a fact, Triple H made public after, Rhea lost to Charlotte in 2020. He was like, oh, I didn't agree with that. I think Rhea should have won. He was very adamant about that. So we can't even allude that this is Charlotte or Rhea's idea. We know for a fact that Triple H, this is 100% his choice.
Yeah. And yes, and the answer, yes. Both big companies hate booking women right now. They both hate.
I don't know, but
and you know what's crazy? Tony Khan is actually doing a better job booking the RoH women's division than he is AEW. That's the crazy. That's the crazy part. He can book women's division. He just doesn't do it for his main company.
Can I just say, for a person that advocates and like watches women wrestling, and I don't even watch Impact that much, but Impact has had the tools and they're giving it to them. So I don't understand how these two bigger companies that have more viewers and people paying tickets to go to these shows can't book a fucking women's match for the god life of me. Like, I don't understand, like, how? Like, what? Like, who was at the table? Who was saying, let's just do this? We're going to keep having Asuka just go out there and just keep having the blue shit come out of her mouth to scare Bianca.
It just feels like they don't remember what they do with their women year in and year out. Like, literally, like, Becky Lynch headlined the show a couple years ago. Now she's, like, literally probably the most irrelevant character in her own match. It's.
I mean, I don't know about irrelevant now, friend. That's a little far fetched, but
in that match, no one cares about Becky Lynch.
That's outrageous. That's outrageous in comparison to Damage Control. No one cares about Damage Control.
Correct. Thank you. Ding, 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 ding.
No, I'm talking about the
people. And I feel bad for Bayley because Bayley is one of the bigger people.
You meant her team.
I'm talking about the people on her team.
Okay. You said the match. You said the match. You said the match.
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, I'm not. Damn it, we've seen what they've done with Damage Control for 8 months. Like, they are the epitome of irrelevant, and that is so bad for them because they should have been the gold standard in the company heading into this shit. But this all happened. I don't count Damage Control in this equation. I count the fucking 2 Hall of Famers that she's fucking teaming up with.
Fair enough. Some news in regards to SmackDown. It was reported earlier this week that Goldberg is reportedly a free agent once again. With his WWE contract having expired, Fightfull Select say that they've confirmed that Goldberg's WWE contract expired at the end of 2022 with no deal made to renew or extend it. Goldberg last wrestled at WWE Elimination Chamber, his only match that he competed in last year. He had 10 months after that point and did not take to the ring again. And the WWE Hall of Famer returned to WWE in 2016 and wrestled as a part-timer, during which he had 2 WWE Universal Championship reigns. Many of his matches took place at Saudi Arabia shows, with the rest taking place at Big Four pay-per-views. And there were reports, never confirmed, that All Elite Wrestling was interested in Goldberg back in 2019. And AEW president Tony Khan said he would be monitoring the situation with Goldberg now, knowing that he is a free agent. So my question to you guys is, Goldberg coming to AEW? Because I got the booking for you. Come on. We see how AEW does a much better job with using legends than WWE does. We have no proof whatsoever that they would bring Goldberg in. He would be squashing, current stars or winning the world championship. The perfect scenario. Goldberg is going to team up with Wardlow against Powerhouse Hobbs and the QTV people, and then he's going to become the mentor for Wardlow, because Wardlow is in desperate need of AEW Daddy Daycare. As MJF established in his promo last week, it did wonders for Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara is now a star that can be in a world title matchup. With Sting and Darby Allin, he gave Darby Allin an extra bit of notoriety for older fans to get to know him. With Jungle Boy, most of all, he was helped out so well by Christian Cage, where he's a lot more confident as a character and on the mic. So you have 3 examples of AEW Daddy Gate Daycare benefiting these young stars, and Wardlow is in desperate need of something to revitalize him. Goldberg and Wardlow together.
JJ hates the idea, obviously. Like, he is not a fan at all. Like, he's just like, hell no. I hate to say I wouldn't be mad at the Daddy Daycare. I mean, yes, Wardlow is in need of it, but then who would Hobbs be with now?
Hobbs is with QTV.
Oh, QT. Oh, yes, that one. Oh, yeah, they're gonna get squashed. Yep. Damn. So you're gonna stop doing the black people like this, though.
They placed him. Top guy JJ, you're not down for Goldberg and Wardlow? Come on.
I'm not down for anything Goldberg. Like, that time and that ship has long sailed. Like, I don't even react when his music comes on. I don't get it died. Like, after the Survivor Series into WrestleMania 33, I was done after WrestleMania 33. I was like, I am good with Bill Goldberg. I enjoyed him having that shocking upset at Survivor Series and having the fucking craziest 5-minute barn burning match at WrestleMania with Goldberg. With Brock Lesnar, and I was good after that. It was good. Mm-hmm. And then we get the shit show with Bobby Lashley, and then we get the shit show with whoever. I don't even fucking remember the garbage that he's fucking been involved with since then. I don't even care. He is just like, he's done to me as a professional wrestler, and that's okay. He's a Hall of Fame talent, and his time is expired. Just enjoy making fucking car commercials and being guest on shows and shit. Like, but to have you as an active competitor in AEW, I guess they're going to probably do it because the TBS and TNT connection is what got him over to begin with. So they got Tony Schiavone getting to suck his dick one more time if it's a 6-month period you know Tony Schiavone is gonna fucking bust all sorts of nuts if he sees Goldberg. So, you know, to hear Tony Schiavone calling Goldberg's whatever you want to call it, because it ain't matches. You want to have him do it one more time for fuck's sakes? Go ahead. I'm done. I'm done with that guy.
Goldberg, Wardlow, happening 2023. We had some news with WWE in regards to another Hall of Fame entrant inductee for this year. Variety reports that the legendary comedian Andy Kaufman is set to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2023. Kaufman joins Rey Mysterio and the Great Muta on the list of inductees. Kaufman's time with wrestling is infamous as he declared himself the intergender wrestling champion of the world, and he offered money to any woman who could pin him, which eventually led to a feud with Jerry the King Lawler as part of the CWA, the Continental Wrestling Association in Memphis. The feud included an appearance on Late Night with David Letterman in 1982, where Lawler slapped Kaufman on the air and knocked him out of his seat. Outside of wrestling, Kaufman was known for his work on the TV sitcom Taxi, as well as Saturday Night Live and Fridays. And the Hall of Fame induction ceremony happens next Friday, March 31st in Los Angeles. Andy Kaufman, definitely a celebrity who deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, absolutely. Question. Okay, who are our inductees this year now, friend?
Mysterio, Great Muta, and Kaufman.
3 people.
They're probably going to announce one more, make it 4. They said they wanted to make it shorter this year. The rumor is PW Insider reported that it's going to be a referee as the 4th inductee.
Oh my God.
They were better off just skipping the whole event this year.
Right. Like, I feel like this is just like thrown together like last minute, like they had nobody.
You know what's happening, right? Like, if they keep inducting 5, 6, 7 people every year, they're going to run out of people to induct.
So that's why they're going to make it 4.
Do you remember this shit like 3-4 years ago, SP, when we said when the Undertaker was supposed to have retired after WrestleMania 33? We literally said on this show, Undertaker should have been the Hall of Fame class of 2018. That was it. He should have been the only Hall of Famer that year, but they had to add in 5 other motherfuckers that no one remembers that was in his class. Like,
no, I remember the Steiner brothers and Shad Gaspard last year.
Oh, yeah. Shit. Okay, so Shad Gaspard. Okay, cool. Don't want to disrespect them, but yeah, with all due respect, and God rest their souls, the Undertaker should have been in it on his own. He should have been in
on his own 4 years earlier.
He should have had. Yeah, he should have had his own.
He thought he wanted to keep.
He shouldn't have kept going. So
we know that, but he didn't do. He didn't know that. Oh yeah, and you need the Warrior winner too. Great thing to yes, thank you.
I think the referee might be the Warrior Award winner. I don't know. Yeah, there is a rumor that Stacy Keibler is rumored to get inducted this year. Says Marcus Ryan.
That didn't do shit at all. Keep getting
running out of people.
Hall of Fame. Oh my God!
Like Dolores also says they do always have one woman, so they should probably do Stacy Keibler and the referee. So call it a day after that. Final WWE piece of WWE news before we get into what happened on Raw this week. It's time. It's time once again. Your favorite time. McSuccesion week. Fuck it. I don't know what week we're on yet. Vince McMahon.
Yeah, right. I don't know which. I think we've lost track by now.
This week, WWE informed the SEC that Vince McMahon will pay back $17.4 million that WWE spent during its investigation into him on allegations of sexual misconduct. PW Insider reports that WWE issued a filing with the SEC, which noted that McMahon has entered into an agreement to pay the company for the costs incurred in the investigation. The investigation, which was into hush payments that McMahon allegedly made to cover up sexual harassment Investment and Affairs led to McMahon retiring from WWE in July of last year. He made his return to the WWE Board of Directors as executive chairman of the board in January to explore a potential sale or other strategic options, but $17.4 million. I think that's the amount of money that was into the hush payments at this point. Now he has to pay that to the company for the investigation on his sexual misconduct. Miss Krssi Love, any comments? I think you're muted. You're muted,
sorry.
Krssi.
No, not at all. I mean, slimy ass Vince. Like, are we surprised? Not really. No.
Yeah. This is what we're doing now.
I'm just like, it's just, this McSuccesion week again, whatever week we are in, it's just becoming a repetitive joke. And he's becoming like he's like his friend that they can't even get arrested either. So I'm like, whatever.
Bro, there's no reason to waste any more exhaustion on talking about him. And the fact that 2 hours in and my voice is getting somewhat limited, I ain't wasting no more breaths on him.
That's fair. That's a fair reason. We got in the chat Marcus Ryan saying it blows my mind that a referee hasn't been inducted yet. Yeah, this is something that the family that I'm related to. This is something they suggested years ago for they're passed away. They had a family member that was a referee that actually lost his life during the time that he was a referee, and they wanted him to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, but better late than never, I guess. Better late than never. I don't think it's going to be him, unfortunately, though.
I'm about to say, okay, I know who it is. Damn. Yes. Yeah. He did lose his life. He was a good referee, too.
Yes, he was. Definitely. We got Frantic World with his name of the week saying, McSuccesion episode 10, here comes the money and the bill. Great stuff.
Like it.
Great
I like
stuff,
it, Frantic. It's a good one, friend.
WWE Raw this week, they did 1.771 million viewers. The show featured Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens officially challenging the Usos for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships coming up at WrestleMania 39, with Jimmy and Jay accepting the challenge. You also had Roman Reigns then questioned Jey Uso for the first time since he rejoined the bloodline and told him that he loved him, but also said that he was looking for answers and he got them in that conversation with Jay. You had Austin Theory beat Montez Ford in a decent opening match. Ricochet defeated Chad Gable in a really fun bout thanks to Maxine Dupree distracting Gable by taking Otis away. You also had Bianca Belair and Asuka defeated Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. Post-match, Asuka attacked Belair to do some type of build-up for their matchup at WrestleMania, I guess. And in the most talked about moment of the night, Cody Rhodes put Roman Reigns in his place in an excellent closing segment where he outlined how the bloodline will leave Roman person by person after he loses at WrestleMania, talking that he will be a man without a family, a Roman with no reigns, a chief without a tribe, before getting the better of Solo Sikoa after saying Solo isn't ready, and Roman Reigns stopping Solo from further attacking Cody to end the show. This was a superb closing segment. These two guys have really knocked their whole build up to WrestleMania out the park. What did you think about what Cody had to say on Raw this week, Krssi?
They were both amazing. That segment, my God, was amazing. I mean, to close the show with wow. I just was chills because I'm like, oh my God, what more can these guys do? Like, I don't want this to end. Like, this is a story that I know will end, but I don't want it to end yet. Like, there's so much that's happening, and every person does their job so well. It's so good. And the back and forth between Roman and Cody, there's no screaming. We're just talking. Like, okay, Roman laughs. Okay, sure. Good. And then, here goes Cody with his stuff. I was like, don't cry. Please don't cry. We don't need you to cry today. Like, we don't need this from you, friend. Right. Exactly. That face that you just did, SP. And I mean, wow, like Sokola being like ridiculed when he's going back home, like he was a bad kid at school, like he gets called to the office, and now your dad has to deal with you as they go walk to the car. Such good shit.
Great stuff from both guys. Roman with that
Roman
line
with no
that
reins.
Cody was Stardust and he ran. Then he made his own company and he couldn't get over, so he ran again.
Came back. Yep, it's so good. It was like
then you came back and your body broke down on you, so you ran again. That was great. Great.
And then Roman, it's very calm, right? And it's very like it just like executed well, just well.
And Roman might be the king of facial expressions because how cocky he was. And then as soon as Cody says, Jay's going to leave you, his face totally changes.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, shit, you're probably right because I got my answers earlier in the night.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, don't do it, Jimmy. No.
Are you ready for this to be the end of this bloodline saga or the beginning of the end at WrestleMania 39 next weekend, Top Guy JJ?
No, I mean this is the best. Like in my opinion, this is the best wrestling story I've ever experienced. Like going if you go on the YouTube channel and they have their own like on the WWE has a channel as well. Obviously, they're fucking juggernauts, but they posted a 2-hour history of the bloodline, and I watched that shit. And it went by so motherfucking fast that I'm like that they cut shit too. So it could have been 3+ hours. And the fact that you're getting so much out of this, like who would as a wrestling fan want this to come to a close? But at least there's an end in sight. You can then relish and enjoy it for what it is and what it was and what it's going to, culminate as. But this thing has just been a fucking masterpiece. Like this thing has just been like to have so many people, to have Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, the Usos, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Solo Sikoa, to have all of these people just involved in such magic. Like, who knows when we're ever going to see this again, because, you think what's going to happen next week.
We don't know. Yeah.
But you really don't.
We have no clue. Like, it's it's like 50-50. Like, the
rest of the WrestleMania card is fairly predictable.
Yes.
But I dare you to tell me you know exactly what's going to happen next Sunday night.
Unless you work there.
Yeah.
And they don't even know, according to the report that we read last week, that they're not even sure of if Roman is going to lose. They said WrestleVotes had a report this week that Roman is planning to take some time off and won't return until SummerSlam after he loses the titles, but it has not been confirmed what the finish of that matchup at WrestleMania will be just yet.
They won't let him get to 1,000? Damn.
I don't want it, Alan. I don't want it to end before 1,000. I will never see an 1,000-day reign in my life.
Yeah,
right. We won't get to see this.
If we don't get this here, we probably never will get it as long as we live. But it's almost like what they're also talking about is giving Roman Reigns the much deserved break that he needs from the company. And it's like, if anybody deserves like an extended leave, like who the fuck else is it that deserves that? Like this man has literally took these titles and made them relevant for about 3 years. Like that's. Can
we change them though? Like let's like a change on the titles, friend. Like we don't need.
I hope Cody brings back the winged eagle title. There you go. Do it. Give me the winged eagle.
It's magic that we're watching, man, and that's why. This like in market like this might be the most viewed WrestleMania of all time. This just might be the one right here.
We had some news from Raw. Speaking of Raw stars, Brock Lesnar. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that the status of Brock Lesnar is being kept quiet in WWE as only a handful of people know about his future. These include Vince McMahon, Nick Khan, Triple H, and maybe 2 others. There had been rumors that Lesnar told people backstage that he would be leaving soon, and this news began to circulate in the company. The last time Lesnar left, it was after he put over Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania 36, and he was gone for nearly 2 years or a year and a half after that. So do you think WrestleMania 39 this year will be Brock Lesnar's final match for a while? Top guy JJ?
Until he wants to come back. I mean, this is all about what Brock kind of like, it's what he's feeling. Like, you know, it's like I hope that he's at the point where he's just like, he's having fun with it, because I love the idea of him and Omos having a match, because it's almost like Brock Lesnar is finally starting to turn that cheek into putting other like younger people in the position to shine and give them an opportunity. Whether they take it home and deliver with it is another story. But the opportunity of fighting Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania is fucking amazing. And what Omos does with this shit, Omos is the one that's under the pressure that he has to deliver something, because there's very little faith in him, and he has to do something against Brock Lesnar, except ball your fucking fist. No one it's basically it's MVP versus Brock Lesnar featuring Omos, and that's terrible for Omos. Like, that's so bad, but the opportunity is there. Let's see what he does with it. But I think it's just a matter of what Brock wants. It's what he wants. Like, if he wants to fucking have a match at Money in the Bank, he'll have it. If he wants to have a match at SummerSlam, he'll have it.
Yeah. I don't see the crowd going crazy. The crowd will be on their feet. They'll be popping, but they're not going to go crazy. I think people are overhyping the moment of Brock giving the F5 to Omos. It's not going to even be at the level of when Brock gave the F5 to Big Show in Madison Square Garden.
Right.
Like, people need to realize he's done this to a 7-footer already. So it's not that big of a deal.
It's not going to be surprising.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, he's giving F5s to fucking Big Show, Mark Henry. Like, I mean, this is nothing that's going to be like, oh, shit, he did it.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
We do have some news about someone who used to be with WWE and has now made it official, Naomi. It appears she has confirmed that she has exited WWE in a social media post promoting her appearance at WrestleCon over WrestleMania weekend. Trinity Fatu posted to her Instagram account to hype her appearance at the convention. And in the comments of the post, a user asks, "Girl, ... are you even still in WWE?" To which she replied, "No, friend." Fatu has not been seen on WWE TV since she and Mercedes Moné, the former Sasha Banks, walked out of WWE in May of last year due to issues with the creative direction of the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships and the Women's Tag Team division in general. WWE has not confirmed her status, and she is still listed on the WWE.com roster page under current superstars, but PW Insider reported that Naomi has filed to trademark the name Trinity Star, which appears to be her new ring name after leaving WWE. So, Miss Krssi Love, where do you think we will see Trinity Star next in wrestling?
Trinity Star will definitely be a big scene on the independent scene. I feel like she will get a lot of notoriety, being in like films and doing fashion and just being out there besides doing wrestling. I feel like she's a great dancer. Wrestling wise, I don't know.
I want to see her in Impact Wrestling. Go to Impact. Or join the Outcast in AEW. Why not? Hey, they need something.
They need something over there, but I feel like they're not. I would go to Impact before I go to AEW only because they book their women better.
This is true. In speaking of
or
women,
RoH.
Well, it's the same difference. In post on social media, Alexa Bliss confirmed that she recently had treatment for skin cancer, but is now all clear. She made a post on her Instagram story showing a bandage on her face, and she wrote there, "Dear younger me, you should have stayed out of tanning beds." When a fan asked her about it, she wrote, "Thank you. Don't worry, short healing time. Always get your skin checked, especially if you are in the sun or use tanning beds. LOL." Another fan asked how she discovered she had it. She replied, "There was a spot on my face, yes, that had gotten worse. So went to get a biopsy. Was binal cell conoma. During my procedure, doc also found other squamous cells and was a quick and easy procedure. Glad I always get my skin checked." She also had an appearance on The Masked Singer on Wednesday's episode of the Fox reality singing competition. Alexa Bliss was revealed to be Axiolota, and Bliss performed Leanne Rimes' "Can't Fight the Moonlight" on the episode as part of the country night, and her identity was revealed. So an interesting week for Alexa Bliss. Hopefully, I know she also said that she will be present for WrestleMania weekend. Hopefully she will be recovered by then, and we can see her back on our TV soon enough.
Yes. Top Guy JJ, were you drinking Caribbean Sunset?
No, Strawberry Peach Paradise.
Oh, okay. That's
very
that's
close.
Good
very close.
Okay.
That's how much you care about Alexa Bliss.
But
WWE.
Alexa Bliss is just so damn pretty, man.
I'm happy that she's great and she's feeling better, and I was really sad. I was like, that makes sense why she's not on TV. Of course, she has to deal with her health and things like that. Yeah. And then sometimes people just need time off or just away. They want to be with their families, and like wrestling is not the end all be all. It's like it's other things that are bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? So and then it's like, where would we put her right now? She just had a feud already.
Look, man,
this is true.
WWE doesn't even know what to do with her. So what the fuck are we supposed to say what to do with her? like she's one week she's Firefly Funhouse crazy chick. Next week she's fucking Alexa Bliss from 2017, and then the following week she's a blend of both. And then now all of a sudden Bray Wyatt's gone into the fucking abyss again. So now
she's that scrapes all that. Yeah, exactly.
It's like fine, just let her be just regular, just be Alexa Bliss, bro. Like
it's Twisted Bliss. Twisted Bliss. That's all you need.
Just be Little Miss Bliss and go back to being a heel, bro, because that was when you were shining. This baby face Bliss and fucking smiling to the people and all of that shit. I mean, fuck these people. Like these people ain't get you nowhere. Like these people ain't do a single fucking thing for you. Nope. So fuck them.
Yep.
Fair enough. Alan Bailey saying Brock is a butthole for what he did to Bobby Lashley, who now is in a battle royal. It was announced on SmackDown last night. Bobby Lashley will be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on next week's edition of
so
SmackDown.
Much. Oh my God.
Alan, that has nothing to do with Brock Lesnar. That has everything to do with Triple H. Yep. Triple H should have kept going with the Brock and Bobby Lashley. He thought that it was going to be Brock and Stone Cold, even though Stone Cold didn't agree to anything. So that's his fault. So believing that was going to be the plan, and Brock needed to be freed up for that. Plus, he gave us an awful ending to a near year and a half long feud between Brock and Bobby with the kick in the dick at Elimination Chamber, and then you could put more of the blame on Bray Wyatt for, the illness. If you want to blame the illness, not blame Bray Wyatt, but blame his illness, then that's fair. But I don't think it's fair to blame Brock because he has nothing to do with that. He doesn't make that booking decision to end his Bobby Lashley feud.
There's usually that unfortunate casualty when it comes to these booking situations. And unfortunately, it's Bobby Lashley this year. And
got the shit in the stick.
Like, what are you gonna?
Former champion.
What the fuck is Bray Wyatt gonna fight nature? Like, You can't fight nature, bro. I'm barely fighting the shit now. Like, fuck, like,
Sure.
you know what I mean? I don't perform. I just sit in front of a computer screen and talk to you people. This man's got to have to potentially go into a ring in front of 90,000 people, and he can't do it. Fuck.
Yeah.
And get ants projected onto the ring mat like me and Top Guy JJ had to watch live. WWE NXT, they did 550,000 viewers this week. The show featured Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes beating Pretty Deadly in the main event ahead of their Stand and Deliver showdown. More importantly, though, you had Dragon Lee step up and be the first person entered into Wesley's North American Championship Open Challenge at next Saturday's Stand and Deliver. And then Ilya Dragunov and JD McDonough had a thrilling, hard-hitting bout that ended in a no-contest shit finish for this great matchup. Poor guys. After a brawl with West and Dragon Lee to set up them two being added to the Open Challenge. So right now it's Wesley, Dragon Lee, Ilya Dragunov, JD McDonough, and the last spot will be filled by the winner of a Battle Royal. Lyra Valkyria and beat Ivy Now, while Tiffany Stratton defeated Indy Hartwell to both qualify for the Women's Championship ladder match coming up at Stand and Deliver as well. And in some news regarding NXT, speaking of the women's division, Cora Jade has not appeared on NXT in months, and with her last appearance on the January 24th episode, this has left fans to wonder where she might be. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Jade is currently dealing with an undisclosed injury that she suffered almost 2 months ago. So I know you were asking where's Cora Jade been at, Krssi Love, so had to add that to the news portion.
Thanks, friend.
You're welcome. You're welcome. No, I'm the only one honest, Dolores. That's the truth. The Triple H, she says the Triple H hate is strong in this one.
Dolores,
no,
it's not. Listen.
Listen, if the man is going to get flowers one week, it's okay to get criticized the next.
He just gets more criticism and, then more flowers. That's all.
No, I give him his flowers. I gave him.
No, we do. That's what I'm saying.
Ray and Dominik thing, but it's. I don't like the fact that Triple H gets credit for stuff that he did not create and did not do, like the Bloodline stuff. I feel like most of the credit should go to Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns, everyone involved, and then you should split the last bit of credit between Vince, who set all this up, and Triple H, who took it to a next level. That's how I think the credit should be divvied out. But you have people online who want to give Triple H credit before Roman and Paul Heyman, which is ridiculous.
It's called the collective effort, people. Collective effort led by the talent, first and foremost. Because that talent and that acting and that fucking making you believe everything that's going on right now, that shit ain't done by a fucking pen. That shit is done by the performance that we see every week.
Absolutely. Over in Impact Wrestling, Impact on Access TV this week, the show featured Brian Myers and Moose defeating Joe Hendry and Dirty Dango in the main event matchup. You also had Bully Ray and Masha Slamovich beat Mickey James and Tommy Dreamer. Post-match, Bully tried to put Mickey through a table, but Jordan Grace made the save. However, she unfortunately speared Mickey by accident, causing a rib injury. Then you had Impact Sacrifice. Last night, Time Machine defeated Steve Macklin, Rich Swann, and Frankie Kazarian. Trey Miguel beat Lince Dorado to retain the X Division Championship. That was a very fun matchup. You also had ABC, Ace and Bay Connection defeating TMDK to retain the Impact World Tag Team titles. Deonna Purrazzo defeated Giselle Shaw. Post-match, Shaw's head of security attacked Deonna until Tasha Steelz made her return to make the save and fight off her former charge. And Speedball Mike Bailey defeated Jonathan Gresham in an absolutely brilliant encounter. One of my favorite, spoiler alert, that we'll talk about when we get to match of the week. And Impact had some very, very bad news this week. First, Impact Wrestling announced yesterday that Josh Alexander has suffered a triceps tear and was forced to give up the Impact World Championship after becoming the longest reigning champion in the company's history. A new champion will now be crowned at Rebellion on April 16th, when Steve Maclin will face Kushida to determine the new champion. Alexander had been booked for Sacrifice last night, but Maclin took his place, and he teamed with Frankie Kazarian and Rich Swann in the loss to Time Machine, Kushida, and Motor City Machine Guns. Alexander was set to face Kushida at Impact New Japan Pro Wrestling's Multiverse United on March 30th, but that match will be changed as well, and a replacement opponent has not been announced at this time. And then even more bad news for them, the Impact Knockouts World Champion Mickie James, like I said before, suffered a rib injury, but she gave her update on her status on Sacrifice. She said on the show that it was announced that she is dealing with a broken rib, but is hopeful that she can still defend the title at Rebellion in April. Santino Marella revealed that Grace, who was supposed to get the shot at Sacrifice last night, will get a shot at the championship at Rebellion against the winner of Miya Yamashita versus Masha Slamovich versus Deonna Purrazzo versus Giselle Shaw match at Multiverse United, and that Mickie James will be added to the matchup if she is cleared. Otherwise, James will have to vacate the title, which will be awarded to the winner of the Rebellion match. So some really big injuries for Impact Wrestling, but that Josh Alexander one was so sad because like I said on multiple platforms, Josh Alexander might be the most underrated professional wrestler in the world today. He's had a magical run with the Impact World Championship, longest reigning champion in the company's 20 years, 335 days, banger after banger against Rich Swann, Eddie Edwards, Speedball Mike Bailey, Alex Shelley, Moose, Tomohiro Ishii. The list goes on and on. So hopefully Josh Alexander can have a speedy recovery, because that was really sad to find out yesterday. We got Negro Buck in the chat saying he wishing speedy recovery to Josh Alexander, as well as Frantic World saying, I hope Josh Alexander gets better soon as well.
That sucks, man. Yeah, that really does suck, man. Like when you hit you're beginning to hit that apex, and you're really starting to establish yourself as a main event player consistently, as you just like delivering. And then I really got put on to seeing Josh Alexander by his rivalry and everything that happened between him and Moose. Yeah, and when I saw that and just constantly just kept an eye on him and seeing between him and that match with him and Mike Bailey, like, oh man, it sucks, man. It really sucks when you got a new player that is like putting himself in a good picture, and then we get a fucking and it's no knock to Steve Maclin or Kushida, but it's like it's such a downgrade from what their champion was. And now I just hope to God that Kushida gets a fucking achievement that he deserves, but it probably won't happen. But it sucks. It just sucks to see.
Nobody wants to see anyone get injured. Like they're doing this job, and they're trying to be careful, and so one thing goes off, and it sucks.
It is very, very, disappointing. Steve Maclin, they have been building him very well, and him and Josh Alexander were having a very good feud leading up to Rebellion. And I thought Steve Maclin was going to end the reign at Rebellion, and that would have been a full year for Josh Alexander as the Impact World Champion. So it's disappointing it happened like that. Dolores saying Impact is putting out good matches and signing good talent. They just also signed Jody Threat to Impact Wrestling as well, so she's gonna be debuting soon. So I mean, you gotta hope for the best for Josh Alexander, because he was putting in some great work. So hopefully he comes back very soon. But Going to New Japan Pro Wrestling. New Japan Pro Wrestling this week had their end of their New Japan Cup tournament. The semifinals was last Sunday with David Finlay beating Tama Tonga, while Sonata defeated Mark Davis in a brilliantly paced brawl to both qualify for the finals. And then the finals was on Tuesday with Sonata, a name that I thought I would never say this, Sonata, defeating David Finlay in a great main event to win the New Japan Cup. I don't know if you've seen the new Sonata, Top Guy JJ, but he shaved his beard. He's got rid of the blonde hair. He looks 10 years younger. And post-match, Sonata called out Okada to make it clear that he is facing an all-new Sonata before he told Okada to leave the ring. I won the main event. He dismissed him and said, walk out that exit to the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion before celebrating with just 5 guys. Hiromu Takahashi beat Lio Rush in a fantastic bout to retain the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Hey, Lio Rush showed out. This was a great matchup. I can no longer say Lio Rush should retire because he needs to stay in New Japan. Post-match, Zack Sabre Jr. revealed the newest member of TMDK to be Robbie Eagles, and Robbie Eagles challenged Hiromu for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship at Sakura Genesis coming up on April 8th. And speaking of Sakura Genesis, it's official. Mercedes Moné will defend her IWGP Women's Championship at Sakura Genesis. NJPW announced on Thursday that Moné accepted a challenge for a 3-way match with Stardom's Hazuki and Azumi at the April 8th show. So that's another big match for April 8th. We'll be doing a preview and predictions for that card along with the WrestleMania lineup next Saturday. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that there is likely only to be a very limited amount of women's matches on New Japan shows going forward in Japan. The IWGP Women's title will be defended on big shows, but that's about it. Gato, who is in charge of booking, has no interest in women's wrestling at this time. However, the owner, Kadani, does want women on the big shows to help draw interest to Stardom and increase interest outside of Japan. They feel the shows need a women's match, especially the bigger shows. But I want to ask you, Top Guy JJ, I know you're familiar with Sonata, but Sonata getting the big win in the New Japan Cup. Do you think that Sonata can parlay this and finally beat Okada for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship?
I mean, how long have we been asking for this?
It's been a while.
How long have we been yawning for this? And how long we've been asking? And personally, fucking love the look. Love the look. Like it you know, looks like a goddamn player for real now. So it's like it works. It's like, you know, when you do a creative player in a video game and you kind of get all a little right and you got something that's wrong. It's like he got the right character and said fucking hit create and I am good to roll, and he looks like a fucking badass. I love it. He should be able to get the job done. We all know what Okada is. We all know that Okada is the GOAT of New Japan. Like it is okay to now that Switchblade is now gone. They need to insert another big player to kind of, you know, throw into the mix of the main event talent. And Sonata is homegrown. It's a perfect fit. Just pull the trigger. Get that man in that circle of main eventers, and I don't think they will miss a beat.
Yeah,
I agree. He's gotta win this one to really make him a main player. I could see him getting close, but I don't know if I can predict Sonata winning the whole thing. And yes, I'll give props to Vala B, who did predict Sonata to win. So shouts out to you. I was
Good
not
job, dude.
I've been predicting Sonata to win the New Japan Cup for like 3 years. So
yeah,
I wasn't
we really have. We really have. You know, we really have been picking this dude since like 2019, bro.
Exactly. So I didn't want to do it this year, and of course this is the year that he finally does it. And it's with a new group. just 5 guys. Get them a burger deal once again. But you also had out in Japan some action from a couple of a company that we don't usually talk about here, Tokyo Joshi Pro. They had their Grand Princess show, which was last Saturday morning, and it was a great show. I got to watch over the week. You had Mizuki defeating Yuka Sakazaki, who you might know from AEW, in a superb emotional main event to win the Princess of Princess Championship. You had 1 to a million of Maki Ito and Miya Yamashita beat Wasteland War Party to win the Princess Tag Team Championships, and Riki Tatsumi defeated Miya Watanabe in a fabulous encounter to win the Princess International Championship. Really good show. I would definitely go out of your way to watch it. It's available on Wrestle Universe. I know Vala B has mentioned that platform a couple of times before. You had GCW Worst Behavior last Sunday. You had Masha Slamovich making her first defense of the GCW World Championship in an awesome main event against Speedball Mike Bailey with one of my favorite finishes to a matchup that I've seen all year, where she actually choked him out and had his legs hanging outside the ring because Speedball moved the boards of the ring. And then when she won after he tapped out, she dropped him and he just fell into the abyss. It's one of the best visuals in wrestling I've seen all year. East West Express beat Wasted Youth. You had Matt Cardona beat Sexy Eddie. Rina Yamashita defeated LaFisto to retain the GCW Ultra Violent Championship. And then finally, you had RoH TV on Honor Club. The show featured an absolutely intense sit-down interview documenting the history between Eddie Kingston and RoH World Champion Claudio Castagnoli to set up the Supercard of Honor main event. Samoa Joe beat Cheeseburger in an RoH TV title open challenge. Post-match, Joe further attacked Cheeseburger until Mark Briscoe came out to make the save. You had Shane Taylor defeating Silas Young in a hard-hitting affair. And AR Fox, Blake Christian, and Matt Talik beat the Trustbusters in a dope trios matchup. And then finally, you had Aussie Open defeating Matt Sydal and Christopher Daniels in an absolute banger. So some really good wrestling on RoH TV, keeping their consistency up. But that is all for what we missed. So we get to Krssi Love's favorite part of the show, match of the week. I'm gonna give 5 this week. Y'all guys can only y'all don't have to. Y'all can give y'all 3 for this week because I saw so much wrestling. I gotta give love to a bunch of different matches. Thank you.
Good for you.
Coming in at number 5, Speedball Mike Bailey versus Jonathan Gresham from last night's Sacrifice show. Gotta show love to that one. Number 4, I got the Riki Tatsumi versus Miyo Watanabe from the TJPW Grand Princess show. Coming in at number 3, Mizuki versus Yuka Sakazaki from that same Grand Princess show. Like I said, it's a must-watch show. Great wrestling up and down the card, and that was one of the best women's matches I saw all year. Coming in at number 2, Hiromu Takahashi versus Leo Rush from the New Japan Cup final. And number 1, of course, Kenny Omega versus El Hijo del Vikingo from AEW Dynamite. Krssi Love, what's your 3 for the week?
Okay, so number 3 is going to be Dragunov, and what's the other guy's name?
McDonough. I would have had that in my.
I didn't like the finish though.
Yeah.
I didn't like the finish, but the match itself was amazing. Number 2, I'm giving it to Hook and yes. I personally enjoyed the whole thing. I don't care how it went. It was stupid, but it was great for me. And then number 1 is going to go to Omega and that guy too that I can't say his last name. There you go, friend.
Say it.
Him.
Vikingo.
There you go. Okay, I said it.
You got
See,
it.
I got it. Yay. I did it.
Top guy JJ.
Yeah, so 3 matches is gonna be hard for me to name.
Name your favorite ones from the week.
It's hard to
well, we know what your number 1 is clearly.
The comedy in this fucking
Stokely.
Oh God, yes. I hate. No, I can't put a comedy match in there.
Yes,
man.
you can.
You can. Krssi Love just set the precedent.
I did. I loved it. It was great. He because he quoted Tupac.
Yeah.
And he
Okay.
shout out his 12 fans. His 12,
All right.
no, his friends.
So,
excuse me, his 12 friends.
I need to go back and I need to watch that New Japan show because it sounds like there was some absolute fucking bangers out of that shit.
Yeah. Negro Buck said it right there. Look at his 5. He gave 5.
Between that and Sacrifice, I mean that's some sounds like a good lineup. But I'm not gonna cheat, so I'm not gonna go with shit. I'm not gonna go with shit that I didn't see. So
fair.
Okay.
I'm gonna agree in part to what Krssi said, but just reverse 2 and 3.
Okay.
Because I did happen to catch like 30 minutes of NXT, and that happened to be the fucking match that was on. So I mean NXT I think is one of the worst shows on TV to me.
It is.
But I if I happen to watch and I'm going through do like basketball games and that happens to be on during a commercial break, and then I see Dragunov, happen to just stay on there for a little while. So yeah, Dragunov 2, of course we know what number 1 is, and 3 I'm gonna go with comedy.
See, it's not that hard.
You see, it's not that hard. You did it. You did it.
Yeah, you did it. You influenced that.
I mean,
great influencing, Krssi Love. And we're gonna end this week with a quick free preview, rapid fire predictions for 2 huge shows that's gonna happen before we come back to you next Saturday, 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time on Tru Heel Heat 219. As WrestleMania week will be up and running. Thursday, you got Impact, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Multiverse United. It's a huge show, which feels like Forbidden Door 1 because people keep getting injured because we were supposed to get Josh Alexander versus Kushida for the Impact World Championship. That's out the window now that Josh Alexander is injured. We were supposed to get Will Ospreay on this show. That's out the window because he got injured in the New Japan Cup. The Countdown show is going to see Yuya Uemura versus Gabriel Kidd. You also got an 8-man tag of Alex Coughlin, Callahan, Fred Rosser, and PCO versus Eddie Edwards, Joe Hendry, JR Kratos, and Tom Lawler. But we will do predictions for these couple of matches. Still kicking, y'all. We're gonna predict these couple of matches here. First, you got a big meaty men slapping meat. Moose going 1-on-1 with Jeff Cobb.
Ooh,
I'm gonna go with Jeff Cobb in this one because I think Cobb needs to win here so he has momentum when he tries to go after Omega for the IWGP US title. Krssi Love, who you got?
Damn, that's a hard one. I'm gonna go Moose.
Black Power. Top guy JJ.
Yeah, I need to go with Moose, man. Like I haven't been hearing shit about Moose over the last few months, bro. So I mean, I need Moose to get back on a good track, man.
I hear you. He does need some momentum for sure. We got for the X Division Championship, a matchup that I actually talked to personally with the current X Division champion, Trey Miguel, this week. That's up on the channel right now. He will defend in a 6-way scramble match against Rich Swann, Frankie Kazarian, New Japan Pro Wrestling's Kevin Knight, Clark Connors, and Rocky Romero. I got to go with my boy Trey. Trey said I'm a homie. He said it felt like he was talking to a homie. So I'm going to stick with the homie. I'm going to Trey Miguel. Who you got, Krssi?
I'm going to say Trey as well. He likes Tru Heel Heat. Yay.
He does. He said he was going to subscribe and he's going to watch Blunt Impact. So got to show love to Trey.
Got to watch Blunt Impact. The guys, they do such a good job over there. And they smoke. It's great stuff.
Top guy,
it makes
JJ.
the world go around.
Absolutely.
I'll just say we're gonna go with Trey Miguel in a clean sweep, but it is awesome to see Kevin Knight in a big match like this. It is fucking awesome to see that. So, shout out to him. But a
homie, another homie
to the homie, man. But you gotta go with Trey Miguel in this.
You got for the Impact World Tag Team Championships, another match that I was able to talk personally with Chris Bay with. That interview is going to be dropping on Monday. We got Ace Austin and Chris Bay, the representing the Bullet Club, defending the titles against TMDK, Aussie Open, and the Motor City Machine Guns. I'm going with the Bullet Club on this one. Top guy, JJ?
Yeah, I didn't see anybody that's beating the Bullet Club on that page.
Krssi Love?
I am going to go with hold on, sorry. Bullet Club. Why am I drawing a blank? Bullet Club. Duh. We always pick Bullet Club. I pick them even when I lose. Sorry.
We need those checks in the mail, so we always got to go with the Bullet Club. Impact Knockouts #1 contenders matchup now is going to be Masha Slamovich versus Deonna Purrazzo versus Giselle Shaw versus Miyo Yamashita. Who you got in this one? I'm gonna go with I'll go with Deonna Purrazzo.
I was gonna say Purrazzo. Purrazzo.
You going with the Deonna?
She won last week. I think she's gonna stay on a roll, so we need Purrazzo to win.
Top guy, JJ.
Listen, man, if Mickie James is injured, man, we need that top star to get built back up.
Pretty much.
Need that virtuoso back.
Get that virtuoso up. Absolutely.
I feel it.
And then the top two matches now, we won't do the predictions for the Kushida match because we don't know who he's going to face. But for the NJPW Strong Openweight Championship, it's going to be Kenta defending against Minoru Suzuki. This should be hard-hitting as hell. I'm going to go once again with the Bullet Club and go with Kenta. Who you got, Miss Krssi Love?
Suzuki going to lose, though? Dang. All right, Bullet Club, friend. Damn, but that was hard. All right, Bullet Club.
Top guy, JJ.
Yeah, this is like one of those matches that Minoru is gonna lose in like some weird way. Like he's just gonna run out of steam.
He's like someone's grandpa. Like he's like someone's grandpa, though. Like that's so bad.
He's just gonna run out of steam, and hopefully Kenta gets to put him to sleep. But it might be a weird way he loses. But I don't see Minoru beating Kenta at all.
I agree with Negro Buck. This is going to be a great match, though.
Yeah,
but the match I wanted to do predictions for last, because I'm looking forward to this, because it's going to feature, in my opinion, the guy who's going to steal WrestleMania 39 weekend like he stole WrestleMania 38 weekend, Speedball Mike Bailey, who's a maniac because hours before this match, he's going to go one-on-one with Kota Ibushi in Bloodsport. But he's going to then follow that up and go one-on-one with the ace of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Hiroshi Tanahashi, only because he's versing Kota Ibushi in Kota Ibushi's first match since leaving New Japan. I'm going to go with Tanahashi because Speedball, I'm sorry, you ain't going to have a lot left after you verse Ibushi. Who you got, top guy?
I didn't, even without that news, I would have been going with Tanahashi on this one. It just feels like there's a level up process that Mike Bailey's got to go through, and
before you beat the
like Mike Bailey ain't ready for that yet. Like he gonna put on a good show. He's probably gonna put on a great show, but he ain't beating no Tanahashi.
Yeah, I have to agree. Yeah.
We're sorry, Speed. We're sorry. Speed.
We like you a lot. I met you in person. You're a very nice man.
No, he's awesome and awesome.
He's a very nice person. I'm sorry, but you're gonna have just one L. You know, you probably have the other two. You might win, or maybe not. I don't think so. I don't know.
I don't know. That's a tough day. And then he's following it up.
Shokan.
And then on Friday, he's teaming up with Mal to verse Jordan Oliver and Nick Wayne. And then he's going to end the night versus El Hijo del Vikingo at Joey Janela's Spring Break.
All right, friend, stop. Okay,
he's a maniac.
You need all them checks, son? Damn, that's a lot of money for one weekend, for one day. Damn.
He's having multiple matches on multiple days, WrestleMania weekend. But the big show on Friday outside of like SmackDown and Hall of Fame is RoH Supercard of Honor. And my Lord, is Tony Khan putting his dick on the table for WrestleMania weekend with this card. We have a couple of matches that haven't been announced yet, but they've basically been teased. First up, RoH 6-man tag team championships is going to be the Embassy, Brian Cage, Khan, and Tori Alonia versus AR Fox, Blake Christian, and Matalik. I'm going with the Embassy for that one. Top guy JJ, who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna go with Embassy too.
Krssi Love? Embassy versus AR Fox, Blake Christian, and Matalik.
You know I don't like those mashup together teams.
The team y'all picked, that one.
Embassy.
Okay.
Then you got for the ROH Pure Championship, Wheeler Yuta is a maniac, apparently, because he's challenged Katsuyori Shibata. Shibata probably in, I think, his only 4th or 5th match since he suffered a brain injury back in 2017, will verse Yuta for the Pure Championship. I'm going with Wheeler Yuta only because I think Shibata is just here to put someone over, but I'll go with Yuta here. Who you got? Top guy, JJ.
That's hard. That's actually hard. It's a hard one to pick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna go Shibata here. I'm gonna go Shibata to take that shit from Wheeler Yuta.
That's a fair choice. I can't blame you at all. Our ROH Women's World Championship. This has basically been confirmed, but it hasn't been announced yet. Athena will defend against Yuka Sakazaki. Yuka coming off losing the TJPW Princess Championship. She's been feuding with Athena for a couple of months now. I want to see this Athena run continue, so I'll go with Athena.
Yeah, I want Athena to win. Yep, let her go a couple more. She can do
Who you got, top guy?
Yeah, I agree. If you're gonna pull the trigger on this Athena thing, you gotta ride it out.
And then we got the matches that have already been announced. And like I said earlier, this is going to be crazy. AAA Mega Championship up for grabs on the show. El Hijo del Vikingo will defend against Commander. This is going to be high-flying spot foo, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going with Vikingo here. Krssi?
Vikingo.
Top guy?
I'm not going against Vikingo right now.
He's the hottest thing right now.
As you shouldn't. ROH World Television Championship up for grabs. Samoa Joe versus Mark Briscoe. I'm going with Mark Briscoe to finally win the big one, his first singles championship. Top guy JJ.
Yep.
Mark
reach
boys.
the sky, boy. You know this here is only fitting. This is only fitting. Mark Briscoe is going to defeat Samoa Joe.
Harlem agrees too, friend.
And hate that.
Absolutely. I can't wait for Mark Briscoe to win the big one. Speaking of the Briscoes, you got the Reach for the Sky ROH World Tag Team Championship ladder match. The Lucha Bros versus Top Flight versus Rush and Jerlistico versus Aussie Open versus the Kingdom. This is going to be insane. I am going to go with the Lucha Bros, though. Who you got, Krssi?
Ooh, damn. Okay, let's do Lucha Bros. I would have picked Aussie, but not, yeah. Okay, Lucha Bros.
Top guy?
Something just has homegrown written on this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with the Kingdom.
Okay, I like it.
I like that. Seeing all bunch of different picks in the chat already.
See.
And then finally, the main event, ROH World Championship up for grabs. Claudio Castagnoli will defend against Eddie Kingston. I'm sorry, I gotta be New Yorker here. I'm going with Uncle Eddie. Uncle Eddie to win the big one.
He ain't winning. Just stop this now. You know good and damn well. Eddie ain't here to get wins.
It's not a knife fight in the Bronx. I'm going with Claudio.
Claudio. Sorry, Eddie. We love you, Uncle. But yeah, you're not here for wins. You're here for just nostalgia. You know what I mean? Nostalgia, right?
Nostalgia?
Yeah. There you go. There we go. Thank you, friends. That's the word I was looking for.
Tough guy, JJ.
Ain't no way hell Eddie Kingston is winning this match.
No.
Claudio about to bust his ass.
We believe in you,
people are asking for Eddie to win. Unfortunately, you guys will be and suffer, and he will not win.
That's the problem with Eddie Kingston. He gonna just keep letting people down, and then he gonna I quit. He gonna quit again.
Yep, he's a quitter. Yep.
It's gonna be this is going to be a crazy show. I wanted to highlight a couple of more comments here for the match of the week. We got Negro Buck who said Vikingo versus Omega, Leo versus Hiromu, Dragunov versus JD, Speedball versus Gresham, Trey versus Lindsay. We got Alan Banky who said number 3, Dreamer versus Bully Ray, because that ending was wild. Number 2, Sonata versus Finley, and number 1, Omega versus Vikingo. 5 stars, baby. Dolores says 5, Masha versus Speedball. 4, Leo versus Hiromu. 3, Gresham versus Speedball. 2, Rita Yamashita versus Lufisto. And number 1, Kenny versus El Hideo del Vikingo. So everybody had Vikingo and Omega number 1, as they should. But that brings us to a close for another edition of Tru Heel Heat 218. And I feel like we have someone in the background who's getting ready for a wild vendetta of trying to kill himself and fall asleep on camera, which wouldn't be the first time. Let's bring in Romeo here. Romeo.
Hey, friend, my Aries
How's it
brethren.
going?
Hey.
Hey. What's up,
Hi,
y'all?
friend. Hug
What's
to
up, y'all?
you.
SP3,
Told
say
you
it with me.
2 p.m. was the right thing to do.
Yeah, you were right. SP3, repeat after me. Repeat after me. I'm going to teach you. El Hijo. You say El Hijo.
El Hijo
El Hijo
Del Vikingo.
del
del
Vikingo.
Vikingo.
I think you called him like, you almost called him like Io Sky, almost.
No, I didn't. I've gotten it right. I'm shooting like 500. I'm shooting like 500. That's better. That's better than most NBA players at saying the name. That's why I keep Vikingo most of the time.
Who wants to spin the Romeo Mania wheel, which
Pick
has
me.
about 370 something matches, every single match in WrestleMania history?
What? You're crazy.
I'll let
friend.
all 3 of you spin it. And you know what? Since I love you guys, you could respin if you want. If you don't like what you land on, I'll let you respin if you want. Same for you, Johnny, in the background if you want.
Show them.
Yeah.
guys.
You ain't getting.
Oh, can I get a drum roll?
Oh, sure. You ready?
Go ahead.
I haven't done that in so long.
Look at this shit.
Oh my god!
You can't even read it.
Romeo, are you crazy?
Yo,
read this.
that shit look
No,
like
whenever
that shit like one of them. What do you call those? Like those Japanese fans?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
I got on glasses and I can't even see that shit.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening right now?
I could see it a little tiny better, but whenever it lands on something, it'll show you what it landed on. So
Okay, so how do you
Krssi,
spin
go
now?
ahead. Ladies first. Go ahead.
I'll hit the spin button and you just tell me when to stop, Krssi.
Got it. Okay,
All right.
go.
It's spinning.
Stop.
It's stopping. Here's Chrissy's choice if she wants. Wow, Rhea Ripley versus Asuka from 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
That pandemic?
There you go.
You like that, Krssi? I beg you to take it because it could get
Okay.
worse.
Actually, not bad. 'Cause that could be
Yeah,
way
that's not
worse.
bad. That's not
Okay, you're okay.
That could be way worse.
bad. Top bad JJ, I guess you're next. Romeo
Okay.
has to write that down and take it off the
Yes.
list now.
Yes, high choice. Bam. See? It's eliminated.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at this. This is what you're going to be doing for a whole day over on Twitch.tv.
How much monsters do you have with you,
friend?
friend?
I have 2, but I'm about to go get some more.
Okay.
Let me know when to start spinning, Ty Guy. And when to
Spin that
stop.
bitch.
Here it goes. It's spinning. It's spinning.
And stop.
Let's see what Top Guy got.
Watch him get some shit from like WrestleMania 1.
Wow. Bob
Oh,
Lashley.
another one for
Another reason.
Man, how you got WrestleMania 37 twice? Nice.
You know what?
Are you accepting that or?
Let's respin it.
Wow, that is dangerous.
Let's respin
So
it.
dangerous. That's so dangerous.
It's spinning.
You know, I'm asking for trouble right
I
now.
would have took that.
You are.
And stop. Watch him get some
No,
Bastion Booger
man.
match.
Oh, that's a great one. You better keep
Let's go. Let's go.
Another
good
streak
one.
ends. I love that he put another streak ends in capital letters.
SP3, only right you go third.
Let's go.
All right. Spin it now.
My whole 24 hours is made just from that match alone.
There you go. And stop.
You can get some Undertaker shit. Watch.
Oh God! Please no!
He's
Please
gonna get the
no!
boneyard match.
2 out of 3 falls. Benoit, Jericho,
That's
Angle.
damn.
That was a good one.
You got to
That
keep
was a good one. I'll
That's
take.
good.
I'll keep that.
I would say you have to keep that one. Yes,
I keep
that's
that.
for sure. Oh, this is fun. Okay, great.
Johnny,
There
do
you
you want
go.
to come on here and spin the wheel?
Okay.
Sure. Let's do it.
There you
Spin that
go.
wheel. Let's make that deal.
All right, high choice. I'm so glad you got some good ones to start.
You got
we're
good.
due.
You're gonna have
on,
4
Michael
good
Cole.
ones, friend.
Big
Come on, Michael
money
Cole.
on Michael Cole.
You
Big money,
did.
big money, big money, big money.
You
Stop.
did.
You were close. Shane McMahon versus.
Do you want that one or?
Nah, spin again.
Of
What
course
is
you
that?
would get a Shane O'Mac match.
He was a really
Shane
bad
O'Mac
match.
against X-Pac.
That was like his first
Stop.
WrestleMania.
Stop it. Ugh. No,
You were there. He was there. He was there for that too.
That was my first WrestleMania too. I don't even remember this shit.
You
I
probably
don't
want to
even
respin,
remember.
don't you?
Yo, bro, I don't even remember that match happening.
Respin,
All
friend.
right,
Respin.
third time's the charm.
Spin it.
King Kong
He's gonna
Bundy
get-
versus
He's gonna get
Perry.
Undertaker
from
versus
Florida.
Big Boss Man at Hell in a Cell.
Oh, man.
Oh, please,
Stop.
please.
Stopping.
Hammer time.
Money in the
There
bank.
we go.
okay.
That's something.
26.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
a Saturday something. Enjoy, my friend.
All
There you
right,
go.
we're gonna have a good start to this Romeo Mania.
The Jack Swagger edition, the Jack Swagger match. All right, I'll let Baby Seth off the screen now. Our producer, thank you for coming on and joining us. Romeo, you're insane, but let's do our final outros. Romeo, they will join you over on Twitch. We're almost done here. You can get it started over there. So
Oh, you're doing
I
this
am
on
gonna
Twitch.
go. I am gonna go
Oh,
down the
okay.
block. I'll be back, folks. If it doesn't, the stream will be starting, but I'll be back.
there you go. But Krssi Love, let the people know where they can follow you, sis, on everywhere.
So, hey friends, you can follow me every Saturday here at 11:05. Well, next week will be at 10:05. So make sure you're early
Yes.
and get your breakfast, okay? Yes, we'll be there starting our WrestleMania week, our kickoff for the whole day, friends. It's gonna be a long day for my other friends. I'll be on for just our show, and I'll be on for WrestleMania. Probably, if I don't go see it at a bar. Anywho, but other than that, you can see me tomorrow. Serving Face and Hill is back. My tag team partner is free. She was away, so we'll be back tomorrow. So make sure you find us there tomorrow. Other than that, join me or follow me. IG, Twitter, or Facebook is Tru Heel Krssi Love _1 or Tru Heel Krssi Love. I do podcasts with people ask me to. I'll go on their shows. I do roundtables and I do watch along. So yeah, hey, there you go, friends.
And
So
Top
good
Guy
to see you
JJ,
guys.
yes, this was great having us three all back together.
Yes,
Top
the
Guy
gang.
JJ, let the people know where they can follow you, sir.
On Instagram, you can find me at Tru Heel _Top Guy JJ, which is the same as the Twitch name. Here, when I'm contractually obligated, once a month, on the Tru Heel
Once a month.
podcast of the flagship Anchor podcast. It was great to finally, to get the trio back. I think this is the second time this year
I know.
we've been together. The
Together.
OG
Yep.
trio.
Either you're here and I'm not
Wow,
here.
I think that is more times than all of last year together. I
You
think
know
I
what,
think
friend,
we're on to something here in 2023 with the subscriber growth and then our appearance growth together. I think there's something special going on there. I believe for WrestleMania weekend, I should be home on time to be here for the watch-alongs for WrestleMania, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be 2 big-ass watch-alongs. So save me a spot. So I'll because I know there's going to be like 30 motherfuckers trying to get in here for that. So reserve one of the 10 spots for me, because I know there's only 10 of them shits available. So
and that's how many people we can have on at a time. Is 10? Is that correct?
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
So that's why I'm putting my stake and my claim in there. Save a spot.
Exactly. He's getting a reservation. He's making his reservation.
Okay, so then I have to talk to Romeo then. Okay, save me a reservation. I just have to figure out which night I'm
so
gonna come
there
on.
we go. So I'll even join that shit while I'm on my way home, and
right.
just get properly set up here. I'll be on the phone until then. But yeah, I think it should be a great week coming up for everybody.
Yes, it's a huge week for Tru Heel Heat, and I can announce to you guys now that this Tuesday at 3:05 p.m. Eastern Time, we're starting it off big, WrestleMania week. Well, first, Monday, we are dropping my exclusive interview with Chris Bay, one half of the Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions, member of the Bullet Club. We talk about his historic being the first ever African American in the Bullet Club and what that means to him. He even talks about getting Jesus pieces with Finesse Club on it. So we're going to talk all about that. That drops on Monday. Of course, you got Rated RoH Superstars at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on Tuesday at 3:05 p.m. Eastern Time, me, Romeo, and 2 special guests once again for our WrestleMania 39 preview, previewing both nights on Saturday and Sunday. We're going to have Sat E. Nyangi from Wrestle Talk, our boy, our member of the Cookout officially, and even bigger, Grandpa Dutch is back on Tru Heel Heat this Tuesday, 3:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Dutch Mantel will join us for our WrestleMania 39 preview. So join us live for that. If you haven't already, check out Tru Heel's BTR with Trey Miguel, the Impact Wrestling X Division champion. Great conversation with him. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at Tru Heel SP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Tru Heel Heat. Patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. $3 a month. We get exclusive content, the Tru Heel's Prediction Championship, which is going to be huge coming up for WrestleMania weekend. And you'll have the opportunity to join Romeo on screen coming up right now over on twitch.tv/Tru Heel Heat Gaming and the For Romeo Anthony Colon YouTube channel. You can join him live on screen for the 24-hour madness that is known as Romeo Mania. Yes, this man put a thumbnail with his face over Cody Rhodes' face. Yes, he is insane, ladies and gentlemen.
So you need a Twitch account to watch this, is that correct? Like I can't watch
Twitch, or you can go over on Romeo's YouTube channel. I would say Twitch though. Get a Twitch account. Why not?
I don't have a Twitch account. Okay.
You can make one. It takes like 2 seconds. It's fine. But thank you everyone for joining us here on Tru Heel Heat 218. I want to thank Miss Krssi Love, thank Top Guy JJ, thank Romeo, Baby Seth, and all of you in the live chat. You guys are always amazing. This has been Tru Heel Heat 218. I'm too old for this shit. We are signing off until next time.
Later.